let's go over some of these teams. I have a lot of garbage in like random generations, but I got a lot of stuff I could show in Gen 8. Gen 7 is way too big, 486, so I gotta really parse through this bullshit. Gen 6, I probably don't even have that many teams anymore. Oh, actually, I do have a decent amount. But anyways, we'll start at Gen 9, because that's like what everybody plays. But I realized that like, I don't really have much of a reason to quote-unquote hide these teams. I was like, yeah, let's just look at some teams. I have a pretty good memory recall when it comes to like where a team was used and like how it did, but yeah. So I guess I could like look at stuff that's actually been used in tournament more or less than like just my favorite shit. This is in the sample teams. This is CTC. It's like one of his like magnum opus type teams. I guess you can only have one magnum opus, so it can't be one of them, but you get what I'm saying? This shit right here, very glazed team. People spam this all the time. It's a great team. Don't get it twisted. It's a phenomenal team. It's probably like the best G's bulky O. It's probably the best version of that, because a lot of these bulkier Ting-Lu teams, they always get packed up by Ogerpon. But this team does a pretty solid job at dealing with that quite well. Magnum Opus Contender. Why thank you. Why thank you. But yeah, this is from last August, I think is when he made it. And it was always a good team. Like I remember when he tested it, he beat me quite a few times because I would always lose to stupid ass Tornadus T. I would always get farmed by Tornadus T because the shit would just never die. He has heavy duty boots and assault vest, but I personally prefer the heavy duty boots with U-turn set. Like I don't even like running assault vest. I think boots is just too good of something to give up. AV is definitely dope, but it's tough for me to not want heavy duty boots. So whenever I go over something like this, I usually go with heavy duty boots. Nasty Plot is a phenomenal win condition. I know this team was used a lot in official Smogon Tour. The guy who won Fusion, shouts to him. He was on my team on the Tyrants. He's dope. But when he used this team, I think he spammed both AV and Nasty Plot, and both times they got a lot of he got a lot of mileage out of it. Personally though, I like U-turn more. I just think it's a lot easier to make progress with knockoff U-turn. I believe this is Terra Steel. Yeah, Terra Steel for the stronger make it rain, because honestly, this team can have a little bit of trouble hitting hard. I mean, obviously Gold is strong and Zama's not like weak by any means, but you know, we're in a super power creep metagame. Like, your dudes need to be goober strong. Like, they need to be bringing some serious power. You know what I'm saying? They need to be bringing some serious power. So, I mean, this team does have, what's it called? Double regen, which is really nice. Also, Aloma Mola. This set was phenomenal. Wish, Flip Turn, Tickle, Protect. This set is so annoying because you're able to basically own Dragonite and, because you just stay there and you tickle all day. Tickle monster, bro. Tickle monster. Weezing balance as far like there's a couple of different variations, but I think honestly that this is probably the best version of Weezing balance, and I used this Pokemon quite a bit even a year and a half ago in 2023 in that Sneazler Grassy terrain meta, because it was obviously good into both Sneazler, Rillaboom, even Great Tusk. They were all running max speed, max HP, bulk up speed booster, so Headlong Rush really didn't do shit to this thing if it's not attack boosted, right? So overall, it's just like this type of build is really sturdy, and it's also not bad into Ogerpon, which is like the biggest issue with balance right now. Especially after Roaring Moon got banned, it was really hard for anyone to keep Ogerpon in check. Like the Roaring Moon ban, the more I think about it, Roaring Moon was pretty annoying to play against, but I think it shouldn't have been banned just because now Ogerpon is completely out of control. I think what that shit did was really check a lot of like horribly annoying offensive Pokemon. Another thing that's really going around unchecked right now is Kingambit. I think Kingambit is probably the best it's been in more than a year. And Roaring Moon was really good at limiting that, because at least Moon resists Sucker, and you're able to hit that shit with, what's it called, Booster Attack Earthquake, or even Brick Break if you want to run some shit like that, but, you know what I'm saying? Roaring Moon was honestly, like, yes, it was an offensive demon, but it was checking a lot of other offensive Pokemon really well. I think Gambit and Ogerpon are completely out of control at the moment. Like, Gambit is fucking balls to play against. This shit is like, fuck, bro. It's such a fucking threat. Like, Gambit is really tough right now. Any set. All the regular Terras are good. Fire, Fairy, Flying, Dark. Shit, it ain't easy. But yeah, the whole point of a metagame is homeostasis. Everything is a circle. Alright? Everything balances everything. But unfortunately, they got rid of one of the key balancing Pokemon. Took that shit out. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Anyways, this is a great team. Very, very solid. Very, very easy to pilot as well. It's one of those like bulky, balanced teams, but it's not too bulky. You know, you have your offensive guys, and even Weezing is one of those Pokemon that can really troll a lot of like similar bulky structures. Like, for example, if you play against some dude with like Moltres, Garganacl, Ogerpon, that type of like this right here. This team right here isn't even good into into Weezing, because Weezing can burn Garganacl because of neutralizing gas. You can't go Moltres on Sludge Bomb because you get poisoned and you're goobed. And then the natural typing allows you to tank a lot of hits. Like Darkrai, for example, can only really hit you with Ice Beam and Sludge Bomb, which is a 3-hit KO. And obviously you cook Ogre. So I really like that. T-Fog, Pain Split, Will-O-Wisp, Sludge Bomb. I really do like Weezing with Alomomola, because Passing Wish is like invaluable. My favorite version of this is the one with Subtech, Kyurem, Banzama, and Pex. The AV Pex, right? Where's that Maushold Garg team from 2023? Damn, that's a deep cut. You want to see that? Bro, I think that's like the only time people used Maushold in tournament. AKA when I brought that shit. Where is it? This right here, Moltres Final Goob. Bruh. This right here is just... This was one of my shining moments. This is one of my shining moments. Where are the movie names, bruh? Why aren't the nicknames on here? These nicknames here, it has to be said that CTC might be the greatest mind in the history of the world, bro. One flew over the Ho-Oh nest, bruh. This one is here, right here, is the only quote-unquote reach. Scarface, so simple, yet so genius. Come on, man. Scarface. Stuart Litter, because there's a bunch of them, bro, his brain. We have to analyze it for science, brother. We have to. Reservoir Slogs. This was the funniest one, because when he made this, I was like, what the fuck does slogs mean? And he smirked and he was like, look that shit up. And I looked it up. And as I looked it up, he started like physically doing what slog is, like a slow walk. And so he started fucking doing that shit in the kitchen with both of his hands out, like one of them fucking like Egyptian shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like, hold on. Where you have your hand out and he started doing the little Egyptian walk. You know what I'm talking about? Mad slow, and he's like, slog. And I was like, dude, this is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. Reservoir Slogs. Slow Dog Chillionaire, a nickname that's never going anywhere, ever. It's a phenomenal one. And then Groundhog Day. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have the theme. But yeah, this was one of my favorite teams ever. Shout out to my boy Ant, because he tested this on the ladder. He went on high ladder with this team, and he started smoking everybody, and he was like, yo, this shit might actually be like a capable team. And I was like, bro, there's no way. There's no way. Do you have a team with Meowscarada bouncing and meowing on it for what are you talking about? Yo, we gotta kill you, G. We gotta kill this guy. We gotta kill this guy for sure. This team was free Rex for like 8 months. I actually got Rex with this team as well. This team was really hard to beat for some reason. Garg did a lot of the heavy lifting, but I think I can probably find the game I had with this. But Maushold didn't even come out in the actual game, which was a fucking set. Like, that was just sadness. But yeah, I've talked about this before. This is literally a bad play by me. I just assumed it would kill. I just decided not to calc or do anything. But the calc for this is like 30% maybe. This was literally a bad play. What I did turn 1 was literally a terrible play. So don't do this type of stupid shit. This was actually like a bad play. I think the roll is literally 30% to kill. But at this time, nobody was using Wake in general. With the nickname, it's 90% actually. But nobody was using Specs Wake at this time. They were all booster agility. or they were seen on Sun with specs. No one was running the regular specs. I sack my Slow Dog Trillionaire here. Look at what move this Slowking clicks, which should just go to show you how much the metagame has changed. Have you seen Surf Slowking in the last year? Be honest with me. Be honest with me. Ain't no way. Surf Slowking, bro. Ain't nobody seen that shit in 50 years. Surf is crazy, right? Anyways, look how much damage this Walking Wake Surf does to Dragapult. This is crazy. Look at this damage. 47. This guy is not fucking around. And Garg comes in on Specs Drake, but I have used Garg so many times that I know that if the move is not fucking Attack Booster Headlong Rush, this guy's never gonna die to anything. Heatran comes in there, which it doesn't matter. If that shit has Flash Cannon, then it's a threat, but if it doesn't, then it's whatever. And I knew it didn't have Flash Cannon because that doesn't exist. I think I Stealth Rock here. Yup. You got it, troll. I turn Fairy type here on SD. Click Salt Cure. I think I'm just the regular set. This is when I knew that Protect Garg was literally broken. Because up until this point, I always ran Curse, Stealth Rock. I used to run the greediest set of all time. You know what I used to run on this? Recover, Salt Cure, Stealth Rock, Curse. Like, bro, Garg doesn't have to do 8 different rolls, but I was telling myself, I'm shiced. I'm gonna get them all off. Anyways, Razor Shell does a fucking dick load, but Scarface. Click Recover there. Now I know Protect the next turn is completely free as Iron Valiant comes in, but again, the defensive core of Garg x Moltres x the Trillionaire is just too nasty. It's just too nasty. Goes for knockoff, but my shit is Fizz Def, so that shit bounces off, and I just go for Wisp there regardless. I mean, either way, I'm Fairy Garg, so I walled this, but I wanted to switch out in case he was special oriented, and I know my Moltres can live even a +1 flamethrower. U-turn out of here, and we bring in Wake yet again. Gets Magma'd for no damage. Samurott comes in. Val comes in and then doubles out into this, as I believe I go to Moltres. Yeah. U-turn out into this again. Get Magma'd, but again, we don't need HP on this at all. This comes in. Look how much this Surf does. To max HP, by the way, because look how much that does. 41. That guy's not fucking around. We go Moltres here on Earthquake, and then I believe he goes for Head Smash. Knocks me out. But at that point, it's over, because I have my own Speed Tusk. I just go into it and then forfeits because the last 2 are dead at that point. Unfortunately, the mouse didn't get to come out, which was like, come on, man. But honestly, the mouse is probably not going to be that great into Heatran X Dragapult. And then, I mean, Zapdos died turn 1, but yeah, it would have been epic if I could bring the mouse out, but unfortunately. But yeah, that was when I was like, Wake is so shiced, Walking Wake is so goated, because I wanted to use Walking Wake all of that tournament, because I was like, dude, this shit's like Keldeo 0.2 or V2. Like, how can we not rock it? But really what you should get from that video or that battle is that no matter what is going on, Garganical is LeBron James. Has Hoopa U popped off in any SVOU tour games? Oh yeah. Assault Vest Hoopa U is huge. Like that, I mean, back in the day, this shit was better, like at least like a year ago. But Assault Vest Hoopa is no joke. I'll actually show you the best Assault Vest Hoopa team now that you mention it. So my boy Ant built this. His Smogon name is Giannis, and he built this. And this team, I brought this to tournament so many times. I think in 2024, I went like 6-1 using this team. I lost 1 game with this team only, and it's because I choked. I was up so much in the game, and then I completely choked on balls, and I lost. But the other 6 times I used it, this shit was like, oh my god, this team right here is like a work of art. This team was absolutely gorgeous. This team is very old now. It's like a 1.5 years old. It's been pretty phased out of the meta, but holy cow, this team was so damn good. CTC actually ended up bringing this to SPL. I can find the replay. Give me a second. This game is why I always remember how important lead matchup is, because I remember CTC took like 90 seconds on lead matchup, and I remember thinking to myself, why doesn't bro just lead Gold and go into Ninetales? But what a fucking fool I am. Bro leads Hoopa, which would lose to Ninetales, but bro knew Ninetales is not leading into Gold. Look how much Hoopa takes from this Moonblast, by the way. Come on, man. Come on, man. Assault Vest Hoopa was something else. was something else for real. I loved this set because it can take any hit on any side. People like this was one of the most innovative spreads ever. I remember because it still hits crazy high attacking stats. I think there's definitely like a more optimal way you can EV this. People have like their own different versions, but me personally, I loved this type of spread. I remember taking 39% from a Specs Pult Draco with AV Hoopa and sent Dragapult to Burger Flippers Inc. Yo, this thing is a fucking bastard when you have this type of investment, because 363 HP, 211 defense, that's not a joke. Like, it's not a joke at all. Like, this can live Headlong Rush pretty easily. This could even live Ogerpon's Ivy Cudgel. Why the Hoopa got speed EVs if it's quiet nature? Please don't ask me all these things. I didn't EV spread this bullshit. I know it's quiet so that you don't take away from either attacking stat, which more or less makes sense, but like I remember this thing is really bulky though. Like you never, because everyone always knows Hoopa is the Pokemon that dies to every physical attack, right? Like 60 base is dog shit. But I remember Ceaseless Edge from Samurott doing like 54, and my Drain Punch does like 65 back. I think you hit 175 if you don't speed invest, or no, you hit 176. What hits 176 in OU? I know Corviknight's 170. This I used to run Psychic. CTC liked Psychic Noise a lot because a lot of that annoying recovery shit started going on the rise. I think Gliscor went up too much, and that's why he started running Psy Noise over Psychic. But I always really loved Psychic because the extra power was just, you know, and it's also its best move, more or less. I always liked that quite a bit. Scar might be 176. Is it? Perhaps it is. Anyways, yeah. This stat spread, there's probably something more optimal. I'm not going to get too into it. But yeah, AV Hoopa, my boy Ant, when he built this team, I was like, bro, this is genius. This is genius. The CTC game, I'll go over it real quick because it's actually after the turn 1 where he predicts the lead. It's like extremely straightforward. Ninetales comes in, Veil comes up. Clicks knockoff to make sure that this thing can't Veil his second time. In comes Roaring Moon. Shouts to Sylveon, man. He had all the agency nicknames. He's funny as shit. Golden Go comes in here on the double to trick the Moon because obviously after Veil goes up, something is coming in to start setting up. Gets tricked here. I honestly think that instead of Roaring Moon, Ogerpon Wellspring should have came out. And that would have completely cock-blocked Golden Go because screen's up and he can't trick it. Gets knocked, and then Zamazenta comes up and literally wins the game. Because this is Roar Za. Now, usually this would actually be able to handle Zamazenta, I think, because it's attack booster, X Terra Poison. But at this time, people really weren't running Roar like that. Roar only took off a lot afterwards. That's another thing. The Roar Zama, everybody was not spamming this shit at this time, bro. I remember this very clearly. Clicks press again to bait, but it's Jover. Is that? Look at the genius. Look at the genius stalling out the screen turns with the double body press, making it seem like, oh no, we lose. It's helpless. No, sir. Not me. And then the game ends. Because this shit kills everybody. Yeah, this shit kills everybody, unfortunately. Za's cheap, but also you can't run physical spam with a Haxorus. Ain't nobody know who Haxorus is. He is not a legend in his city, first of all. Shout out to Haxorus, but he is not a legend in his city. This was a nasty Za, though. This is the updated spread. This one has more speed. It was just different variations. I think CTC put his own EVs that he liked, but the team itself was the same. But yeah, this team was dangerous, man. This was my favorite AV Hoopa team. Let me see if I have other Hoopa teams. Oh, this was a fantastic AV Hoopa team that CTC built. I think he gave it to Lax. Or maybe Lax made it. I don't remember. I think he made it and gave it to Lax. I don't remember. Or no, Lax used Gliscor over Landorus. Because he has no skill. But this team was really fucking good. Wish Alomomola. Not flip turn. Court change Cinderace to keep the hazards off so you can run greedy stuff like Lefty Zama. You gotta have Scarf Gold on these types of structures. You can kind of see where the influence of the Weezing G Landorus, not Weezing G Landorus, the Weezing G Tornadus T Ting-Lu team. Like you can see the different like variations of bulky teams that came before that team to kind of get to that final team. But this team was phenomenal. Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I think there were a bunch of different variations you could run though. Like I ran SD Trailblaze Cudgel. I think that was a big thing actually. That You could basically change up the 6 sets on here however you liked. I think Scarf had to be on Golden Go at all times, because like the trick aspect of this is really good for shutting down something that gets out of hand. Also, you need speed control. But Great Tusk, I remember there were a lot of different sets. Like this is 3 attack spin. Like this version had no rocks, quite literally. And then they had a Ban Knight. I think the OGest version had a Ban Knight and no rocks on the Great Tusk. And this is the set I used. This is the team I used to spam with the Ban Knight. But then eventually started using Dragon Dance Dragonite, because Dragon Dance Dragonite is fucking broken and takes no skill to win with. This is another team I used a lot in tournament, like more than a year ago. I haven't seen this type of structure in forever. Ain't nobody rocking a Hawlucha anymore. But this thing was pretty dank. People did not know that this guy was pretty gangster, especially with Terra Fly. Once you get that extra flying boost, that extra stab, like from Terra, it's bro. This guy was nasty. I used to sweep a lot of people with this. Banded Rilla has fallen off a cliff, but this guy was amazing in his heyday. Garg is Garg. Terra Ghost is for sure dog shit. I don't know why this was even Terra Ghost. I made a water. It should literally be water. I mean, I'd never use this team again because the metagame has changed a lot. But bulk up Boots Tusk was perfect because you got to make sure you keep the hazards off. This team gets 6-0'd by like T-Spikes, Spikes, all of that shit. But heavy duty Boots is phenomenal in that regard. And then this was the real killer. This right here was the real killer, bro. This right here. This guy was out of control. Grassy Seed, so you get +1 defense. Then you Terra Fairy. Nobody's killing you, bro. And this one was special attack. Invested, like 72 modest, good amount of speed, a lot of HP. But people used to run heavy defensive on this. Like bold gold, or even like a Spadef gold. And then you rock in the Grassy Seed defense boost. Oh man, this was a threat. This shit was. I see you guys talking about Enamorous. I don't know why the team is completely female. Shouts to my boy TDK for building this team up. I don't think Enamorous was ever top 10 in any metagame in Gen 9. I don't think in any metagame cycle. Scarfy Nam is always there. Oh yeah, Enamorous is a threat. Nobody runs Cute Charm, by the way. That doesn't exist. So you guys are making up mystery situations. Enamorous only uses Contrary, my G's. Enamorous Contrary is actually one of the better anti-webs merchants, because you can just what's it called? You can just Terra Fairy against webs, and then you get a +1 speed boost because of Contrary. Shit's cheap. Q-Charm was for CM, but CM. Oh yeah, you're right. It is for CM. Matter of fact, I literally used CM Enamorous yesterday, so I'm bugging. German 6 with Enamorous and backs. Oh, that shit was so fucking nasty. Let me find it on my builder. I remember this. I used this like the second week of SV release. You can tell because there's a fucking Chen. And Dirge hasn't been seen in 40 decades, but yeah, it was this, Spadef Slowking, Chili into Spadef backs. Yo, I used to spam the fuck out of this bullet. This team is not good. This team gets 6-0 by Earthquake, but I used to spam the shit out of this the second week. Anyways, let me show you the backs team. Look at that, Slishin Impossible. Come on, man, what a name, what a name. Okay, where is this team? Muck plus Dog Goob Heat. Yo, the shit that was being tested back in the day. These are so fucking. These are some horrible fucking teams, G. Where is this shit? Chili Batch the Return. This was the German team, I think. Yeah, more or less. This is not the version I loaded up in tournament. They had multiple versions of this team. I want to find the exact version I used, but whatever. There were different versions of this team. The reason this team was so prominent is because you could run any 6 sets on all 6 of these Pokemon and it would work. Like, the team was phenomenal. I think Mind Gaming built this. In fact, no, I know Mind Gaming built this. So this is from summer 2023. This was one of the best teams ever. This team was brought like 25 times in one weekend by every team in the World Cup, because it was just, everybody was spamming this shit. Because Backcalibur was broken, and then Chili Reception. I think the German team actually ran Beyond Fizdef with Colbur, so you could stay in turn 1 on Kingambit and Chili out, or Future Sight on Kingambit immediately, take whatever because you're Fizz Def Colbur, then go Great Tusk, then force the switch, and automatically get momentum going that way. This team was nasty work. Life Orb, Terra, Dragon, Glaive Rush. Oh yeah, that was an amazing game. That was an amazing game. I should actually go find that game. This was a really amazing game. So at the time, this was a very common defensive structure. I think sometimes people ran Screamtail over like, I don't even remember over what. Over Garg actually, but this was a very, very spammed defensive structure. I had a team that was kind of similar, but I used to run Pult and Hatterene over these two. So mine was a little bit more offensive. But back at this time, people really liked the Dozo Garg, and then Pex was all over this bitch with AV. Anyways, this was cool because this was the first time I had seen this Backcalibur set. This team was already used a few times, but Sludge Bomb comes out turn 1, Wisp misses, goes into his own ace here on the second Wisp, so dodge is pretty nice, but it's not really important what's going on in this battle early game. I just want to show the what's it called off. Yeah, you can see it's Fizz Def because Earthquake did only 39. In comes Great Tusk, it can click Knock off or Rocks pretty easily. Does he click Rocks or Knock? I think Knock is what I would click here. Yeah, okay. Slowking G comes right back in. You don't want to take a possible Brave Bird. Enamorous comes in here on EQ. It's a nice play. Doubles out in the Slowking G, knowing Pex is really free. Even Corv is potentially free if this is not Specs. And I think it's Scarf on this, but we'll see. They started running Life Orb after a while. I ran Specs on my Enamorous most of the time. Tusk comes in here to go for knockoff. You know, if you knock off Garg, you're going to be able to handle it later on. Future Sight, Chili's out into Corv. Just knock again. Yeah, always knock. Because at least you can start stalling out Roosts this way. Stays in Chili's here, which is a great play. Brings in the ace. Let's go for Wisp. Yep. Go for Wisp just to neutralize this for the remainder of the game, which is nice. And then court change and just throws out the ace. But knockoff gets clicked instead, so... I think what was going to happen immediately after this is Enamorous would come in, and then with Rocks up, it could start being a threat. You know the Rapid Spin's coming, so you can go G-King. Also, it's FizzDev G-King, so I believe Earthquake would only do like 35% or something low as fuck. Yeah, it would literally do like 35%. Because you can Chili here for free. No fucks. Yeah. Let's see who comes in. Tusk comes in yet again to click Rapid Spin. Force a little Roost action there. Slowking G. Yo, Slowking G is putting in a LeBron performance here. FizzDef Slowking G is no joke. Anyways, there has to be patient gameplay to get to the Fire Backcalibur turn. Clicks Earthquake on the switch. That shit did 11% because this is a set we don't see anymore. But people used to run FizzDef Tusk like a shit ton back in the day. They used to run it so much, especially because Gambit usage was 1 trillion%. 11%, bruv. 11%. Everybody nowadays runs max speed, max attack, helmet Tusk, and they let the helmet do the hard work. But when's the last time you saw lefties defensive Great Tusk? Like, this is beyond impish. This shit has not existed in fucking forever, bruh. Everybody is fucking scared shitless of Gambit back then. And for good reason. Gambit was really broken back then. Gambit was really broken around here, because I remember they had a suspect test for Kingambit, and I remember voting ban. I was like, get this shit out of here. I literally remember that was one of the few Pokemon I voted ban on. When the suspect test for Kingambit happened, I was like, no, bro, this is not a healthy Pokemon. This is not something that we need to keep in the metagame at all. I really didn't like Kingambit being in the meta. That shit was really, really heinous around this time. Then Gambit went, stopped being broken because Moon was more broken, and now Gambit's broken again now that Moon is gone. But FizzDef Tusk with lefties is really doing its job because it's able to, you know, continuously get back HP every turn. Alright, what do we go here? Slowking again. Future Sight again. Garg comes in and curses. Rocks or Knock? Yup. This shit is down to 3 Roosts. So the progress is being made. Progress is being made. This patience is... This was a really good game. I remember I really enjoyed this game at the time. Has to knock every time. There's no reason to click Rocks when you have Future Sight already doing so much work for you. Corv is down to 2 Roosts after this turn as well. Clicks Iron Defense here on Future Sight, and then Iron Defenses again as Chili gets clicked into what? Namorous? Oh, Ace comes in? He's just gonna U-turn, is he not? Yeah. Switches out expecting what, Wisp, but probably should have just taken the kill and taken the burn. Now we see Backcalibur come in because Future Sight hits. Future Sight crits, but this would have killed anyways. Because look what happens here. Look what gets clicked. SD? Well, SD was because he predicted the switch. I guess he was able to SD because of the crit. He probably would have just Terra Dragon Life Orb immediately otherwise. Then we see this, and that shit did so much damage. This was so funny at the time because I was like, bro, what kind of set is this? Everybody was running Dragon Dance Terra Ground, but this shit was on some other shit. Life Orb Terra Dragon. It's like, bro, relax. Relax with all that. Bro, look at this. Look at this shit, bro. Shit goes into this to turn Fairy, which was obvious. Ice Beam, does that even kill? Oh, he hazes. Okay. Are we clicking Glade Rush here, team? Oh, come on. Why not go back into Pex? I guess they don't want to get SD'd on. I guess it doesn't matter. Ace can finally come in a U-turn, but like, bro, look at the damage done. Terra exhausted. These two killed. And this down to 40. This comes in to click Earth Power. Yup. I think this ends up being still a very close game as a result. Hold on. And look, Enamorous has fucking Grass Knot as the last move. Scarf, Grass Knot, Enamorous. If he didn't have that, I think he still would have lost to his Garg. Because he wouldn't have been able to 2-hit KO. And he could have gotten reverse swept immediately. But fucking Grass Knot Scarf? Yo. That shit was very dope at the time. I remember when I saw this, I was like, yo, this is crazy. I was like, he cooked. He chefed. And then, yeah, from that point, this guy comes in. Ironhead, super free. Can live Pyro Ball with absolute ease because he's Kingambit. Future Sight, Sludge Bomb. Starts cursing, but again, this fucking Grass Knot Enamorous tech ended up winning versus both Spadev Dozo and Spadev Garg. This was an insane game. This shit was dope. This shit was dope. And that was that. I remember when I watched this live, I was like, what a game. What a phenomenal game. But yeah, this team is affectionately called the German 6 because Team Germany used it every game. But there were different versions you could run. I think their final version was Life Orb Enamorous. I used to run Specs because I was like, whatever. But also, it was Scarf in that other game because the Backcalibur's not Dragon Dance. This set was broken for a long time, in my opinion. With Slow King G chilling into this, subs up, turns into a ground type on Garganical. Therefore, Salt Cure can't beat you. But yeah, that was one of the best. That was one of my favorite games at the time I saw. This team was really good. This is a team from earlier this year. This team was made by Old Spice Mike, who I think he went to Smogon Tour finals. Not Smogon Tour, official Smogon tournament finals. This was one of his teams that I used on ladder and had a lot of success with. I got like up to like high 1900s with this, but many people have brought this. This team saw usage so many times in so many different tournaments. This team was really cool. Assault Vest Kyurem, kind of like an all-purpose sponge. So he kind of played like a suicide Kyurem in that regard, like just stay in, try and get like 1.5 kills. This team was really cool. It had fast Ting-Lu as well with Taunt Ruination. That way you can, you know, completely stop Corviknight, even Clefable, all those Pokemon. If they switch in on Ruination, you're able to taunt the next turn. And then Helmet does a lot of defense against physical attackers, annoying shit like that, Gambit and whatnot. It was, yeah, this one was really dope. Ban Scizor, I loved this in the Roaring Moon meta a lot. I loved this. This shit was a beast. Iron Vow, Calm Mind, Taunt. Taunt was different because most people ran Encore at this time, but Taunt was pretty cool. Taunt actually made a lot of sense too because the team has spikes and you want to keep those up. So Taunt was really nice for shutting down any potential defog from like a Corviknight or whatnot, or even stopping like D-Knight from DDing on you. Not that D-Knight would really have the ability to DD on Iron Valiant, but you get the point. Taunt is a nice shutdown move, especially when you're already rocking booster speed. Scarf Landorus T. This was like the big thing because nobody was running this. This was the first time I remember seeing Scarf Landorus T and being like, oh, this is actually smart. Like this actually works well on this particular build. Because nobody was running Scarf Landorus T at this time. That wasn't some shit people were doing at all. but I remember I really liked this. Scarflander's T. Terra Blast flying, hits like a truck. Personally, I didn't really ever Terra my Landers. I just used it from like the defensive perspective, but a Terra Blast fly, it's nice to have, you know, all around just a strong ass move. And then regular Roaring Moon with plus attack booster, because after everybody does damage, you send out this guy to clean up. I saw you guys talking about the Milotic team. That was one of my favorite teams. I used to spam the fuck out of that team. This right here. I think the OG, this team is made by ZavGB. Shouts to him. He probably has made like, he's undoubtedly like top 3 SV builder. He's made so many different teams and structures. This was his like, this is his magnum opus, in my opinion. He makes some weirdo teams, but this team right here was beautiful. I brought this to tournament, and I went against fucking Nasty Plot Thunderous T, and I still won because Milotic took 80% from Thunderous T, and killed that shit with Ice Beam. And I remember I was like, yeah, this right here is one of them ones. This right here is one of them ones. Yeah, I loved this team. He used to run spikes on his Gliscor and Sticky Barb Clef, I think, but I thought SD Gliscor was broken, so this is the variation that I used to use more often than not. Did the original version have Mirror Coat over Beam? I don't remember what the original had, to be honest with you. Maybe it did have Mirror Coat. I just know the OG had Gliscor spikes. Yeah, I just know the OG. I mean, at the end of the day, I just ripped the team and put whatever EVs and shit, or rather gave it to CTC and said, yo, put whatever you think works well on this. I liked Ice Beam a lot in general. I used this team. When did I use this team? I did bring this to tournament though. That's for damn sure. Let me see. Because I remember the team I was up against was pretty strong. There was a Thunderous T, there was a Kingambit, and there was a Barraskewda. But the team had the tools. Even with the Thunderous T being such a threat, this team had the tools to win. Let's see. I'll just get to the turn where I lived the thing. I played my balls off this game, actually. I remember. Mandibus comes in, gets Worry seeded, go back into Clef on Spore, because that's the best Monda sack to this shit. Dragapult comes in, knowing that he's going to go Thunderous T to get some type of initiative and start killing everybody. Get the damage here. He tried to paralyze me. If he paralyzed me, it could have been bad, but fortunately my shit didn't get paralyzed. Double into my Gliscor here, knowing that Amoonguss is coming in so I can get activated immediately. Tusk comes in as I go for knockoff, I think. Yeah, just to start. This is back in the day, remember. All Tusks were Fizz Def around this time. Rapid Spin gets clicked. I go for Toxic on Pelly, but I miss, but it's whatever. I go Milotic here to stop the U-turn into Thunderous, because I know the only thing that can kill this is like nothing can kill this actually on his, nothing can OHKO this on this team. Go Gliscor here on Giga. Tusk comes in, I think I click SD. Switch out to Milotic on Ice Spinner, because that's free. And then now Milo is able to click Scald for free, I think. Did I Scald? No, I doubled in a Dirge. Because this is a eject button, and I knew this shit was eject button. So I knew if I ever attack into Amoonguss, he's gonna eject into Thund, and I'm fucked. So I did this to get rid of the eject button. Yo, I'm cold, bro. And then I Wisp here first, because then I go for Torch. Because on Rain, they're all eject button. Yeah, I remember this shit now. In comes Scooter. Gotta turn water, because otherwise Barraskewda is gonna Terra Water and kill my whole team. The Milotic is Spit F, so can't really do that. Click Hex knowing the flip turn's coming. Hex again here. So Dirge is actually getting off a lot of work. In comes my Clefable. I gotta sack it at this point because this is the biggest threat. He clicks Agility here, which is smart because then it limits my Dragapult. I go Gliscor here to stall out Rain. Click Protect. Back into Clefable. Look at this. 77%. Thank God no full para. And Milotic is able to take out that threat. And then you'll actually see one other set come into play heavily in this battle. Keep watching. Taste of Painbow. The one with Lotad will always be the GOAT by Gen 17. My Gen 7 Lotad X Ludicolo bullshit. Alright, watch this. We know Great Tusk is coming in, so Mandibuzz is why I pivoted to that. Did I go Pult here? No, I Toxic. Okay. Gliscor comes back in. Even though he has Worry Seed, it's not the end of the world. Gliscor can force pressure pretty quickly, even if the ability's changed. I go Poet here knowing the switch to Tusk is going, because I need to burn that Tusk so that it stops being annoying. U-turn out, go into this. Oh, I knew his ass was going to EQ here too. Oh, I'm shiced. Alright, wait. Let me find the... I need to find the Mandibuzz doing its job. Oh, look at this double. Look at this double. Come on, man. Come on, man. I went stupid this game. Alright, and then Mandibuzz ends up winning the game. You'll see how. Here, I had to sack Pult because this thing can kill everybody with Terra Liquidation. Look how much this does to Max Dirge. It literally does half. So if I missed Wisp, I would have lost, but I really did not have another way out at that point. I basically had to do this. Do you think Gliscor is broken? No, it's just cringe. What is the most underexplored mon in OU? I'll have to think about it. Anyways, I'm only showing you the end here to show you why the Mandibuzz was on the team in the first place. So, defense drop means I got to switch out on Dirge. But I also know he's going to attack rather than SD because I'm a +1 Dirge. Goes for IDEF. I mean, I go for IDEF. And yeah, my shit... This shit was literally IDEF so that it could beat all of these. I remember this was like, at the time I was like, what the fuck is IDEF Mandibuzz? But yes, this was literally Skarmory LARP. This shit was fucking hilarious, bruh. This shit was fucking hilarious. The IDEF Mandibuzz. Toxic IDEF Roost Foul Play. Like, this team was very innovative. It was genius. Yeah, this team was a work of art. One of my favorite teams of Gen 9, for sure. I had a lot of fun using this. CTC had a version that was Weezing G over Clefable, which was literally made to counter team this version of the team, because then you're able to completely cockblock Gliscor, and also Clefable you're able to status it. If that shit's a status absorber, and you go to those two, then you're able to get a lot out of it, right? So, yeah, this right here was amazing. This shit was really awesome. If we talking the best teams in Gen 9, we gotta talk Webs, right? Not my style, but it's doing so well. I think Webs is only quote-unquote good right now because the metagame is in a period of exhaustion. I don't think Webs is even like that particularly good. Webs peaked around this time when you could run Manaphy, Life Orb, Enamorus, and Sneasler. I don't even think Webs is at its peak right now. Webs is just annoying, and the ladder's low quality, so it's good, but I don't think Webs is like anything crazy. I think Webs has always just been like... It's just been like a good fish strat, like... let me find what I would consider the best Webs. I like Veil more than I like Webs. This structure was really good. I don't know who built this, but this was really strong. I think first person I saw running this shit was Hellom. I don't remember. Sneasler Rilla Gambit was the most evil era on ladder. That was the most awful metagame of all time to play. That was quite literally the worst, this was quite literally the worst metagame of all time. Not this. The Rilla Sneasler meta. This right here. This right here, this metagame was pure cancer. Whenever this structure was able to be used, this was legitimately pure cancer. Like, this shit was fucking horrible to go up against. This guy would get up the Grassy, turn this into fucking Thanos, and you have this in the back, which was very cheap around this time. Nobody was running Rotom or anything like that. Let me see which other variations I have. I stole this guy's team. Just look at the name. Copy of 2K ladder guy team. This was the worst metagame as well. When Ursaluna was in here, corrupting everything. Oh my god, this was cancer, bro. God, I hated this metagame, bro. This was probably the worst. The fact that this was legal for a month plus was like, But yeah, I ended up using this, not this. I used a version of this in tournament. Some Zav GB team. And I think I literally won 6-0. I think I literally won 6-0, if I recall correctly. Because this shit literally takes no skill to run. Shit's cheap. I can find that shit for you right now because I have the thread open. Yeah. Look, this is what the metagame looked like. Look at his shit. Look at my shit. This was the metagame. Like, bro, what is this? This was unserious bullshit. Like, it was just like, hey, send out your guy. My guy, hope my guy beats your guy. I hope your guy's adamant and mine's jolly. This game was fast. think I full para here. I'm sashed, but my EVs were fucking wrong because I just went into battle playing on my phone. I thought I made a genius play here. U-turning out into my Pult to get back 2 rounds of lefties and go back to sash. And then I fucking EV'd wrong, so I had 1 HP away. But unfortunately, God did me a favor here and let this shit get full paired on T-Wave. I go hard Roaring Moon. Rilla comes in on Acro and fucking dies. This thing Terra Ghosts, and I fucking crit it, I think. Yeah. This comes in and takes 78, but this is bulky ass Roaring Moon, so Bullet Punch does jack shit. And I Terra Fly and it does 88, and then that's literally the game. I get 1 last crit for good luck. This is a cancer metagame, bro. It's just send out your next guy and get a business. Literally the worst metagame of all time, bro. Literally the worst metagame ever. Man, that shit was whack. Alright, let's talk about more appealing teams than this garbage ass meta. This whole meta gave me fucking heartburn. Let's look at Triple Dark, the best team of all time. And the best Elements team ever created. Let me find that shit. Or not Elements, Roaring Moon. That's what I remember. I remember when CTC made this team, I told them, I'm like, this is probably the most skillless team ever invented. And he was like, facts. I cooked. And I'm like, you cooked. Yeah. So there were so many versions. There were so many versions of this. This is fucking Rosalie, Darkrai, and fucking Volcarona. I brought this to a tournament. I spanked the dude I played with this. When I brought this. Dark Spam, all these are versions of CTC's Triple Dark team for the most part. Let me find the OG though. The one he brought to tournament. Yeah, this was some bullshit. This one had Terra Blast Fire, but that's the sign of a good team. Where you can change the 6 sets, and that shit will always be good. And that's literally what used to happen with these teams. CTC would change the 6 sets every time. The one I won with in tournament had Terra Water Defensive Volcarona. Like, oh man, that team was beautiful. That team was a work of art, brother. This is the OG version. Dude, it has fucking Hypnosis with Sashrai. Like, this is the one I used in tournament. Look at this. Max Defense, Terra Water. On bullshit, bro. On some bullshit. And look at this Moon. Those are some Lord EVs. This some shit you can't make up. This is the iconic debut of Triple Dark. He was running the Samurai version over the Darkrai version at this time, but yeah, this was week 2 of SPO, and I remember we needed him to win the week. We were up 6-5, and if he lost, we would tie the week. So, but CTC, he a real thug. So he would always play, what's it called? He would always play last to clutch up, because otherwise we might have somebody go in there that's shitting their pants. But yeah, I remember this game was fucking gorgeously played. I remember after I watched this game, I was like, yeah, you might be the best right now. And you already know what he said. Might? This game was filth. So Sash Samurai instead of Sash Arai, I think he made like a last minute game plan. Ceaseless Edge knowing the Thunderclap is not coming out. Too easy. Too easy. Landers comes in here. Clicks what? U-turn or rocks? Rocks. Knowing the switch is coming. Too easy, bruh. The craziest part about this team is that he had max hazards with no spin blocker. There's no Terra Ghost on this team. I remember at the time, I'm like, dude, this shit makes no sense. And he was like, trust. I cooked. Primarina comes in here on U-turn. And now I think Treads has to come in and be sacked just to get the spin off. And so honestly, that trade isn't bad for CTC. Especially because this team is egregiously weak to Primarina to begin with. I think his is Custap, not even AV. Bolt comes in. Landers comes in on T-Bolt. Effortless plays. Rocks up here knowing that they can't be stopped at this point. I think he Earth Powers this time. Yeah, he does Earth Power this time. Weather Ball, which is interesting on the Sun. With the Sun. I get it though. It's able to snipe the Corver or whatever the fuck. I mean, whatever. It's just a fire move in general. Bolt comes back in on Surf. This Primarina really was getting the noob gut off. Lord EV's come into play here. Watch. Come on, man. This was really a legendary game. I remember after this game, this was the most glazed statement I ever seen. People were writing, oh my god, LeBron came back to the game. And I was like, no, you can't glaze like that. He's gonna go to his head. Anyways, Custap Berry activates. Torkoal has to take the Moonblast. Surf comes out, knocks that shit out. Walking Weight comes in, but at this point, the best part about this game, though, is the end game. The way he made sure everything was shut down at the end, this was stupid as shit. He forgot that his acro is weakened because he got boosted. He forgot about that shit. But watch this. This was the best part of the game. I remember at the end, my team was like, wait, what if the other Roaring Moon can sweep us? And I was like, don't worry about that. Taunt. First off the taunt, get a little extra chip. And then Landorus T to put that boy at -1. And then finally, we go to good old Gambit, hit the cheat button, and make sure there ain't no way out of hell. When I saw that end game, that 3-piece to make sure that that Roaring Moon was frozen in time, I was like, it's so fucking beautiful, man. It's so fucking beautiful. Nah, this was a game for the ages. This was a game for the ages. Yeah, this was one of the nastiest Primarina performances of all time. This team was disgusting to go up against. Triple Dark was so cheap, bro. So cheap. There were a bunch of variations of this team, too. Some people ran, like, Zama versions. Some people ran, like, Glamora versions, all this stuff. But as far as, like, man, this team was disgusting. I don't even have the Samurai version. I don't think I liked the Samurai version that much. But yeah, Triple Dark was one of them ones, bro. Triple Dark was one of them ones. CTC made this team. This used to be a sample team for a very long time. It's out of samples now because the metagame has changed so wildly. But this team is really fucking good. He used to like running this. I honestly didn't use this that much. It's a good team for sure, but I don't know. I didn't like this team that much. It had some bullshit sets too, like this cheese. But I don't know. I didn't like this team that much. But I'm sure some of you have probably played this on the ladder back in the day or have used it yourself. But this wasn't my type of... I don't know what... There was something off about this team, bro. Like, there was some really... for me at least. But I remember people use this a lot in tournament. It was a solid team. This team is... I think Old Spice Mike built this. This was one of the first times I used Assault Vest Hat. And I thought it was phenomenal on this team. Back then, people used to run Nuzzle always, but I currently run Psyshock over Nuzzle. I don't really care for Nuzzle as much. Nuzzle's kind of fallen off because everyone predicts it. I like the Rotom Wash version of that team. That's facts, Pushy. Rotom Wash is really solid on that structure. I like that one a lot. Yeah, Rotom Wash over Gliscor, I think, right? Yeah, I probably have that in my builder somewhere. But this team was awesome. DD, Terrablast, Fire, Curum. I could probably find the tournament replay of this. And this team went crazy. I think Old Spice Mike brought this, and I think he actually lost using it. But he used it again, or people stole it right after this and won with it quite a bit. I think he had a very close game. I think he actually played Triple Dark. Let me find it. Yeah, shoutouts to Old Spice Mike, because he has actually made quite a few teams in this meta. Or not meta, this generation that I've liked a lot. I think he makes some of the best offensive teams. Some pretty innovative shit, too. So this was in the playoffs. As you can see, this was the first time this team was used. Shit was beastly. I really liked the look of it. And then my job was running Triple Dark. With Darkrai version. And Golden Go version. We doing 5 to 9 or just 9? We can do 5 to 9. I guess I had so many Gen 9 shits. It's like so many teams. I could probably stream this for like 30 hours and not be done. But this was an awesome game at the time. Hatterene comes in. It's AV though, so he doesn't care even if something like Sludge Bomb was clicked. Mystical Fire on the Switch is a great play, knowing that Darkrai can't stay in. Darkrai, I would honestly have stayed in there. Because you're AV, so Make It Rain does like 60, but... Then again, I think he clicks Focus Blast this turn. Knocks his shit out. Goobed. Yeah, so that was a good lead. Lefty's Nasty Plow Rye with Hatterene's support is really nice. And it's Psyshock for stall. This shit got the noob gut off. Quite literally. At that point, it's like, great. My Rye did his job. Bullet Punch gets clicked there into gold. This is like beyond defensive. And this is also defensive. Gets T-Waved on the Moth. That was pretty unnecessary. And then this is Max Attack. So this shit does 78. This Earth Plate. People were experimenting with Earth Plate and Max Attack Landers T around this time. But I'm at the gym. Which edition of Java vs. Mike is this? I think this is game 3. Or game 4. I don't remember how many times they played. But yeah, DD Terrablast Kyurem is shiced. He should have clicked Icicle Spear here. This has to Terra or it's an auto loss. But I mean, I understand why he didn't. But he still should have clicked it. Got two Landorus jerking each other off. Roaring Moon comes in on DD. DD again. Oh, Earthquake owned. But it's so fucking defensive that it's only taking 41 from this. Kills this here because can't risk the Dazzling Gleam. This shit was fucking stupid, man. Defensive Moon. Annoying piece of shit. Because it still does so much damage despite being -1 attack. And then it's only taking 41 to 45 from U-turn. Yo, Moon was a bastard, G. Thunderwave gets clicked. It's Lumberry. SD. Gets the sucker turn right. And then yo, this was a crazy game though. I remember watching this game live and I was like, holy shit, they're cooking. Especially after the early game when Mike was able to get the 2 kills. But yeah, this team, this team right here is one of my all-time favorites. I actually never brought it to tournament myself, but I could definitely have seen myself bringing this or a variation of it. All I know is that this team, for certain, was one of the first times I saw Assault Vest Hatterene. I'm sure somebody had used it previous to this, but this was by far my favorite at the time. Like, this AV hat concoction was crazy. Also SD Scizor, which I don't really rate SD Scizor. I brought it myself a couple times to tournament, but that shit never did much to me. What item is the Lando if it's not helmet? This Landorus is Earthplate. You can tell because look how much it does to hat with Earthquake. Yeah. Earthplate was getting some use back then because people liked running just random defensive shit like Clef, whatnot. And then Earthplate EQ is like, you can't switch into that with no neutral. Even Tusk gets fucking obliterated by Earthplate. Personally, I like Rocky Helmet max attack, but I do understand where Earthplate comes into play because like any neutral just gets sent to the moon, which is really nice. This is my favorite music to spam in every analysis video. Oh no, Blunder passed away mid CTC team glazing. Died doing what he loved. Yo, chill on me, chill on me. I'm not even glazing Triple Dark, even though that shit is objectively one of the greatest teams ever known to man. This right is. It's a work of art. We really cannot deny. We really cannot deny it, bro. This was the latest team that CTC made that we started bringing to tournament. Trick Room X Rain with random Calm Mind lefties Keldeo. Lax used this in tournament. This game was nuts. Watch this game. Make It Rain gets clicked. Trick Room. H-Wish. In comes Hoopa, because you can click Hyperspace Fury and then eject pack out. But Taste predicts that and goes into Landorus T, which was a nice play. But Pelipper Specs comes in here and this shit is a giga threat. Even if the hat's AV, it's still getting 2-hit KO with ease, because Pelipper is that guy. Psynoise does a shit ton, because Pelipper without like much defense is garbage. Then again, it's still max HP though, so that's pretty cool. Gold comes in to click T-Bolt, knock this dude out. I think it's nasty plot, Gold, because you wouldn't run T-Bolt otherwise. Keldeo clicks Surf. Does a shit ton to Dragonite, considering the fact that multi-scale was intact. Crest comes in here. Trick Room again. Hoopa. Okay, hard Ursa on Make It Rain. God damn, that shit is strong. Is that Metal Coat? Doubles to Keldeo on Landorus. Even though Trick Room is up, it's levels to the shit. This was a crazy game though. Because I remember I was like, damn, even that's doing so much. 27 with Surf. Like, that shit is mad strong. Keeps going for EQ. Gold comes back in on another Trick Room. Hoopa comes in this time. You can take Make It Rain. I think that is Metal Coat on Gold and Go. I don't think it can do this type of damage to both Ursa and Hoopa without being Metal Coat. Hyperspace comes out, does jack shit. He steals the helmet though, which is cool, I guess. You click Psynoise here just for a little extra chip. Rocks go up, which is probably like whatever. Maybe he should have just killed this shit. Then again, I guess Rai can come in, but Rai can't kill this at 39. Oh, okay, crits. Alright, watch this. Oh, a taunt. Maybe it's taunt Black Blast. Vacuum Wave. Surf into Vacuum Wave, knocks that shit out. Gold comes in here. Ursa gets sacked on the T-Bolt into, what, Dazzle? Oh, wait, it has to make it rain. Now, this was crazy, though. This was crazy. Because I remember thinking, damn, how does bro get out of this situation? Look at the power of Keldeo. You'll see. Calm mind in the end game. Nobody was ready for that. Terra Water. But the shit lives, which was a shame. Takes a lot from East because he gets crit, which was annoying. But just wait on it. Just wait on it. Za comes in here. Has to switch into Crest. Body press gets clicked. Switches out because doesn't want his shit to get Thunder Waved. But Lunar Dance gets clicked instead. I think if he clicks IDEF there, he wins. But he can't stay in there. It's too risky. But watch this Keldeo shit. This shit was nuts. Tanks. One hit KO because Terra Water and the shit's 357 special attack. Za comes in, but Press is not going to kill because of Keldeo's natural bulk. Does a fucking shit ton to the Za and actually ends up sweeping with this as a result. Because he got the extra chip on Landorus, so even Terra Water on the Landorus wouldn't be able to save him. And I remember I was like, damn, Keldeo brought that shit back from hell. But yeah, gave this to a couple of people and they ended up using it in tournament. I used to really like this team. Used to. I mean, the team is not old. This replay's from April 20th. It's not even a month old. But all around, really good team. Really good team. I brought this to tournament. My boy Ima brought this to tournament as well. This shit's 2-0 in tournament lifetime. I've already showed this team before. It's just triple the dragon with Latios. Latios is phenomenal. Latios is one of the best Pokemon. Defensively and even offensively, it's very cool. Soldu is like the perfect item, right? You get 1.2x on both of your stabs. Psynoise is one of the greatest moves of all time. Psynoise really helped Psychic Pokemon out as a whole. Because Psychic Pokemon did not ever have like a really great stab. Psychic itself is a fine move, right? But like, it's just 90 BP. But Psynoise negating lefties and then also stopping recovery is like a godsend. Like, you control so hard with this type of shit. I love Latios. I love Latios in Gen 9. I think it's really, really good. If we talk about Gen 9, gotta talk about Sun. Yeah, Sun is amazing. I used to run Blaziken Sun a good amount. Like 2 months ago. CTC thinks this is the best Sun that he made, but I don't really care for the team. As I like Blaziken on my Sun teams, but he said Ceruledge is for sure better this team. Yeah. So Ninetales is here. This isn't the sample team, by the way. SD Ceruledge with Solar Blade, Terra Blast, Life Orb Venusaur, Hatterene eject button, which is basically mandated on Sun because you have to switch into Tusk one time. And the CTC wrote like a little explanation blurb here. I found Ceruledge to be an incredible anti-bulky offense sweeper, being able to muscle many of the common bulky offense cores from Zama Woger to Moon Valiant, and handles Tusk just fine while using Lando as fodder to get special attack Wake in for Hydro Spam. The breaking core of Modest Venu plus special attack Modest Walking Wake gives Stall a spanking, but if the meta leans more offensive, can tweak Venusaur to be timid for Valiant and perhaps go plus speed Wake. Ceruledge coverage can also be tweaked between Poltergeist, Bitterblade, and Terra Blast, or running Sneak or Solar Blade. Any combination works, as the utility you lose from Terra Blast hitting dragons, you gain by not having to Terra as much with Ceruledge. Whereas Solar Blade hits Garganical, CC is an option, but I believe it to be redundant with Bitter and Solar Blade. Moth is an issue for Sun, so Earth Power plus Weather Ball plus Giga Venu is acceptable as well. You lose out on dragons, and Fire Great Tusk is emergency Moth measure. What a nice write-up. Yeah, this is definitely a good Sun. Personally, I don't fuck with Ceruledge as much. Shit's amazing though, and it tilts opponents like anything. Ceruledge has a knack to cause the opponent to short circuit and lose badly. Quite literally, that is Ceruledge's main purpose. It makes people turn stupid and lose. Like, that's literally his main purpose. Ninetales was a big switch. This was a cool Sun. I used to run this a lot. I think this is back when Sleep Powder was even legal, but I had to put Encore here. Ninetales was beastly, dude. Terra Ghost, H-Wish Wisp as like a one-time panic button. You can also get away with AV Tusk on Sun pretty easily. I like Sun. This shit is so good. Gouge meta Sun was disgusting. Gouge in the Sun was fucking stupid, bro. That shit was getting the Sun boost immediately. Oh, man. Shit was disgusting work. This was used all summer in 2023. This is like the Sun team of all time. In my humble opinion, this is the Sun team of all time. This was a... Oh yeah, they took care of Yawn on Torkoal. Once they got rid of Yawn, Torkoal really lost like all motion. Yawn was a big fucking deal. That's a phasing move. Like, man. Yo, why the fuck did they remove Sleep? This team was giga cheap though. This was the first team where Brute Bonnet turned into an actual menace. And it makes sense. Brute's defensive stats are amazing. This team is awesome. This team is fucking awesome. I remember seeing this on the ladder all the fucking time. Like, this team was spammed like crazy. Really good team. Point blank, this was like a very, very hard team to beat. This is in my opinion the best Sun team by far that was ever in. Like, so many people used this to qualify for the ladder tournament at the time. I remember Vert got #1 with it. Mad Dudes got #1 with this team. This will always be my favorite Sun team probably. He an early pioneer of the Wake teams in Sun. He used to always spam that shit and say Sun is the GOAT. I remember he was always sending those shits. Yup, and then this was another earlier version. Yeah, always running Sun. I remember bro was addicted to Sun. But Sun has seen a lot of what's it called? Variations. Man, good times, bro. I guess this is the earliest Sun in my builder, because if you scroll down, I got Chen teams. Like, this is the beginning of the meta at this point. So that was probably the first Sun team I ran. I ran this in I think I used this for Soulwind in some tournament, and I beat his ass. Cause it's like this shit was fucking stupid. Triple Paradox Beast Sun. Bolt Sun was nasty. Yo, good times. This shit was God in Sun. This was actually the worst thing of all time to have to play against. Because it gets the Proto Boost, it gets the Giga Bulky Morning Sun, and then Terra's free because you get back 66%, which is really 73. Bruh, I will never forgive the council for postponing and later on canceling the Garganical and Volcarona suspect test because Walking Wake suspect test is the most insanely stupid shit that ever happened. That was really some need to look inward and stop destroying the metagame type shit. That was... holy shit. Sun always had the tools where you could like, what's it called? Oh man, fuck Sun. Shit's so hard to beat. Gotta talk about this team. This is one of the most iconic teams of all time. Brought the shit to tournament so many times. Best Specs Kyurem team of all time in my opinion. Only good Specs Kyurem team, honestly. I think Specs Kyurem is an amazing Pokemon, but it's hard as fuck to fit on a team and get any mileage out of. But yeah, this was one of them ones. This Blymax team was like, shit. Blim cooked so hard with this shit. This set was also really fucking good because every Great Tusk would stay in a Headlong Rush, and then you could just Ice Beam, tank it, and go from there. And then Tusk is dead because they took the -1 from their Headlong, and Ice Beam's doing like 90+. This team was really fucking beastly. And then Corviknight, Defog plus Cinderace Court Change means the hazards will never stay up versus you because not only can you Court Change against Golden Go teams, but Corv is going to defog on the other ones. So, and then Ting-Lu Rest Talk. Some teams this auto wins versus. Like teams that rely on Pult, Wisp Pult to make any progress, they insta lose to this. I mean, I played this team just yesterday in my video and the game went 150 turns. This team is a piece of shit to go up against. This is one of the smartest teams of all time. CTC ran Curse, Body Press, Rest, Avalanche instead of Sleep Talk because Gouging Fire was running over this bitch all the time, and 2 attack means you can't get PP stalled by the Breaking Swipe Gouge. And I remember he had a battle where that literally came into play and he won because he changed it to attack. That was a smart call. This is a great team though. This is one of the best teams ever of the generation. Blim created like a really incredible team. I used to run Terra Fairy over Ice because I like the defensive, but is Ogerpon a bad matchup? Ogerpon is definitely difficult. There's no two ways around it. Pawn is definitely a nuisance. You probably have to sack your Cinderace to get the Wisp off. And then you're going to be able to be fine with Corv. But yeah, No doubt about it. Pawn is a really annoying Pokemon for this structure. Like it's a piece of shit. The other mon that's really heinous for this team to play against is Nasty Plot Darkrai, which I talked about before. Because Ting-Lu is Rest Talk and Dozo is also Rest Talk, and even though they're both Spadef, if you have to take that extra 12.5% per turn because of bad dreams, you're not going to be able to check those two Pokemon. So once Darkrai gets a Nasty Plot and it has like Focus Blast or even Ice Beam in Ting-Lu's case, you don't need Focus Blast. But yeah, Nasty Plot can fry this. I've seen Curse Guard give this some problems as well. Yeah, that's actually facts. Curse Guard can destroy this because Dozo's getting chipped too much. Curse Guard can... This team has no Guard switch, and you literally have to go Ting-Lu immediately, or Chili out into Slowking. You have to be cursed though. If you're not cursed, you're gonna get PP stalled by Ting-Lu plus G-King. That's what happened to me in my game. My Garg basically ran out of attacks by the end of the game. But yeah, Curse Garg is a good shout out. Curse Garg is definitely a bitch. No two ways around it. There's the Iron Valiant Curum one too, which I used to use. I used to also bring that shit in tournament. Let's find it. Team used to be a sample team. This one, the Rainbow. This team is beastly. There's been some changes to this team since I last used it. This used to be Specs. I never ran no DD or anything crazy like that. Shout out to my boy Schnazzy because he built this team. It's one of the best teams. I could probably find it in the... It used to be a sample team, but I can definitely find it in the Rate My Team forum. Here we go. The Rainbow. This is one of my all-time favorite teams of the metagame. My boy got #1 with it. This team, he made it first in early 2024. I want to say January is when he built the team. He posted the RMT in September, and the team, he just got #1 with the team like a couple weeks ago. Which, like I told y'all, that's a sign of a good team, where you can continuously change the sets, and it can be amazing. But yeah, this team was really fun. Brought this to tournament many times. I don't think I ever lost to this team in tournament. Like, quite literally, I never lost to this team in tournament. Biggest threat to this team is Gliscor, though. Normal Gliscor clicks SD and goes brazy on this team. I even wrote, like, a post on the RMT, I remember, because I was like, this is... What did I say here? This was the first good Specs Kyurem team, other one being the Blymax team. This is the import I used to use. Let's take a look at what I was using. Earthquake, Grass Knot, Taunt, U-Turn, Landorus. I ran no Stealth Rock. Damn. But it makes sense, honestly, because Kyurem, if rocks go up, is not going to be able to perform. So, if I get up rocks, and then they get up rocks, ain't no more court change. You know? But Grass Knot Landorus was always pretty effective. And then Val, I liked this Val, but Calm Mind Encore has always done really good. And then Specs Kyurem is Specs Kyurem. The shit, you bring it in off the Chili, you click Blizzard, you get to it. And then Terra Dark Kingambit was the one I liked because it helped versus the bulkier teams. There was a lot of Gliscor shit back then. And again, this team is really weak to SD normal Gliscor. It's able to click SD and then just Facade. But Gliscor is pretty tough for any bulky offense to build. I mean, to beat, because if you can't Oko Gliscor, you already know the joint is going back to full HP. Slowly but surely, you already know it's going back to full. Can't do nothing about it. Loved this Iron Val joint with Kyurem. This is a very effective team. Val is pretty cool. Val, Encore Val will never go out of style. It's one of the most annoying Pokemon. Even Boots Val is something that people like to use. CTC himself was telling me that Boots Val is really good, but I don't really like... It's not that I don't like it, it's just that it's like... It's whatever. This structure I used to use quite a bit. This is fucking Mental Herb Gambit to beat fucking Encore. Holy shit, what a fucking funny set. But I used to like these types of structures. Slowking plus Cinderace plus Landorus plus Ogerpon. This type of defensive utility is really nice. These guys are all offensively capable while still giving you enough resistances and immunities to everything. So I used to like that type a lot. This was a cool team CTC made a while ago. My boy Ima brought this to tournament in Smogon Tour. He used it like 6 times in a row and won every game, which was awesome. This team is weak to a lot of shit. This is not a good team, but it's pretty fun. And it has choice attackers, which are my favorite. CTC and Lax built this together. This is one of the best teams. This has been used many times in tournament. This shit is still really good in tournament. Specs Crown. Most of the time we see AV nowadays. I mean, we don't even see Crown like that these days. Zapdos, Fizdef for Tusk and Pawn. Zap is really solid into Ogre Pawn. Basically forces the Terra at +2. Otherwise, you're gonna get Thunder Waved with your Ogre Pawn and then it's dead. Fairy Garg, Spadef. Just regular troll shit. This guy's never going out of style. Crown is coming back, trust. You know, with Roaring Moon ban, Crown is a little bit better, but it's still hard to pull off shit with Crown, bro. I liked this set a lot, though. Specs Crown doesn't have switch-ins, so... Like, it literally has no switch-ins. So it can never be, like, bad. It's just that there are some times where you're like, oh, I'd rather use this attacker. You know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to with Iron Crown. It's like, Specs will never be bad. It's just... It's always the opportunity cost of running a different attacker. Iron Crown is good, but why use good and not broken? That's literally what it comes down to. It's a good Pokemon, but it's like, why not use some OP? Then again, though, Crown can still put in a lot of work. 343 is really strong. Tachyon is a strong piece of shit move. Hitting 2x is also awesome. Volt Switch, aka hit water and steel types that resist your shit, means that you're never going to... And it's also one of the easiest Terras to click. Also, the Spadef is quite good, so... You can basically stay in on most special attackers, doubly so if you turn steel, because then you get rid of the stupid dark and ghost weakness. Like, I've had Specs Tachyon, 2-hit KO Golden Go and shit like that after I Terra. Nah, Crown definitely has some utility. It's just hard to justify using it over more broken Pokemon. Defensive utility will never go out of style, though. What else did I like a lot? This is some Blymax shit. I saw somebody said Iron Leaves. Iron Leaves is dicks. I wanted to make it work. I told Lax, let's build with it and use it. And he was like, shit is 2 dicks. I was like, it's 2 dicks. What else did I like? Using. This was some counter team Lax built for tournament and won with it. Fucking 4 AV. This shit is nonsense. Holy shit. 5 AV. Yo, I cannot believe he brought this to tournament. He brought the shit to a fucking playoffs game. Or like a tiebreaker game. Like, it was a must-win game. Why do I fucking have a Cramorant on this shit? Dirty Heatran mid-range. Whole time there's a Cramorant on this piece. Bro, what? Yo, we went stupid with this. This is somebody's RMT they sent me. But we went stupid with this. I remember Whimsicott went crazy. Oh, what else was good back then? Oh! This was a really nice team. CTC built this in the OLT era. He gave it to my boy Soulwind and Giannis to use. I like this team a lot. I like Grass Ogre. Everyone is so always caught up with water that they forget how good Grass is. The fact that Grass doesn't care about hazards is amazing. Grass is really good. Amazing support Pokemon, especially because you can do some troll shit like switch in on a setup move and then Terra Grass for the speed boost and trap them in Encore. Grass causes a lot of mind games. It's cool mind games. I like this set. Just SD regular. This shit can sweep a lot of teams. You just gotta be patient with Ogerpon Grass. It's one of the best Pokemon ever. Rock Pond is similarly very, very good. Oh yeah, you block Pecharon. If Pecharon does Parting Shot, you get a free fucking plus, like, you get +4, +3, right? Because it drops your attack and your special attack, so you get +3 at the end of the turn, right? Oh nah, that should going ham. That should going ham. CTC Hazard Stack sample with Petch and knockoff Wake is the best team ever. Bro, so many people have told me that the CTC knockoff Wake plus Petch team is like their favorite team. That team is definitely fucking annoying. I've lost to it a couple times on ladder. It's because Calm Mind Clef. Nobody prepares for Calm Mind Clef, and then you lose. Where is this? Bruh, this team is a piece of shit to go against. Let me load it up in my builder. Oh man, this team is really, really, really annoying. Because Wake speed tier is flawless. Only slower than like Ogerpon. And even then you live Ogerpon's attack and you can Drake. Because Wake has pretty good defenses all around. This team, I don't know. I never used it that much. but it's good because of Calm Mind Clef. But I know this is like a ladder staple. People love this shit. Calm Mind Hatterene. Calm Mind Hatterene could be nasty into something like this, actually. Although we haven't seen Calm Mind in forever, but that shit could actually be nasty. Steel Zama's annoying when it turns Terra Steel and then can go through like Fairy Reliant teams, you know? You could also probably get good mileage against this team with Specs and Enamorous. Because if you go hard into Petch and they Earth Power, you're fucking finished. So I could see certain Enamorous is going crazy on this. How good would Lando be if they gave it back Knock? It would be amazing, bro. Knockoff is a fantastic move. That shit is never going out of style. We got Calm Mind Knockoff Clef here just because Knockoff is so frustrating in a boots heavy metagame. But Landorus getting Knockoff would not affect Gliscor's position in the metagame. Gliscor will always be OP. Yeah. No matter what they give Landorus. Unless they gave Landorus Ice Punch for other Landorus, then like they would have to give Landorus Ice Beam or an Ice move for it to make any impact on Gliscor's reliability in the meta. I played this team on ladder yesterday in my Chestnut video. This is a pretty cool team. I like it. I think this team can answer a lot of different threats pretty easily. Maybe it'd be tough to go against Sun. Za can beat Sun. You just gotta scare out the Wake one time. Wake is pretty scary for this though, I'm not gonna cap. Hydro Steam Wake might actually kill everybody. You might have to make some weird plays to get out of that. But I like this team. Double Fairy's pretty nice. You can really pressure hard, do some good damage. Calm My Hat fell off too. In favorability. I don't think it's gotten like that bad as a Pokemon. I don't like Nuzzle though. Like I said, Nuzzle's a good support move, but overall I've lost my interest in Nuzzle. I like having Mystical Fire or even Psychic X, or not Psychic, Psychic Noise X Psyshock. Oh, how can I not talk about this team? This shit was everywhere for like 6 months. Good God. We don't see this shit anymore. Metagame changed a lot. But damn, this shit was fucking annoying. The Cha Classic? Oh man. Oh man. This is, I remember the story of this team is CTC passed me this team and said, yo, this is a tough team. And I said, what the fuck is Keldeo? I said, don't give me this bullshit. I said, I'm trying to win, bro. Don't give me no fucking Keldeo Fajita Fajita. And he was like, bro, Keldeo is legit. And I'm like, bro, be for real. How foolish I was. How foolish I was. Keldeo with the boots on, and the Terra Water, and the hazards up, and the flip turn for when they go Primarina and Glow King. Bruh. This was a generational squad. Generational. There was a Specs Keldeo team he made as well that I got a lot of utility off of for a minute. Let me see if I can find this one right here. Brought this to tournament like 3 times. Great team. This team had an Air Balloon Dragapult, which was fucking hilarious. This team is pretty dope though. Got a lot of mileage out of this. Stall team wise, I don't really like too many stall teams. The best one is that Iron Treads garbage that CTC made, but I'm not a big stall lover in Gen 9. I think it's like pretty mediocre. I would much rather just run some super fat balance with like Garg and shit like that. Yeah, stall nowadays is probably even better than balance is. Balance is workable, but balance has a lot of issues. Just with annoying ass metagame. Big thing is Ogerpon. Ogerpon is really annoying for these balance structures. I think stall is honestly better than going halfway with balance, because balance is basically like saying, okay, I'm gonna just go halfway and I'm gonna try to cover everything. At that point, go all the fucking way. Stall on their ass. That's what I think. Ogre being better after Moonban is annoying for stall if you don't have Dragon Score. You basically have to have Dragon Score, or you gotta have like Max Fizz Def Pex with Toxic and hope they're not Whip. SD Whip doesn't really exist anymore, but it did. All Ogres are U-turn now over SD. So actually stall is actually pretty fine, because you can just go to your Pex or your Amoonguss or your Weezing G or whatever. But yeah, Ogre, the 4-attack Ogre, this one has no grass move, but all Ogres are U-turn, and then they have Knockoff, Cudgel, and then you can have Power Whip, you can have... I don't like the grassless Ogre personally, but some teams can get away with it. Like, you can live without it. I don't understand the switch away from SD on Ogerpon. It really just came down to the fact, bro, that this one's SD, and I think me and CTC clicked SD like 0 times in the entire video. Because nowadays the situation that arises is that the other Ogerpon comes in, and if you lose the speed tie, you wasted your time SDing for 0 reason. They're just going to U-turn out. Do 80% to you, it's over. That's not to say SD is bad. I find SD to still be very good, especially when you run into some fucking Corv or Zapdos structure, and it's like, damn, man, I'm not able to break this. But SD always has some annoying shit. Trailblaze Ogre is always good. Trailblaze Ogre was really solid. I used to run that actually quite a bit in like grassy terrain. Trailblaze, SD, Cudgel, Play Rough. Shit would cover basically everything I needed to. I also like being able to hit Dragonite so that it can't set up. But nowadays Dragonite just E-speeds immediately. But no, SD is good. I saw somebody in there say 3-attack taunt. That also sounds like it could be pretty damn good. Because if you Ivy Cudgel against Zapdos or Corv, they can't roost the next turn. You just taunt, right? So I don't mind that at all. Imagine if they didn't Dexit the fat grasses like Pharaoh, Tang, and Cart. That shit would have changed the world, bro. That shit would have literally changed the world. But fortunately, Game Freak, piece of shit, decided let's get rid of all the beastly, the Fizdef Pokemon. Cart is not a fat grass. Look up Cart's Fizdef for me. And then come back to me. This is a sample team. I think the Battler Clean made this team. Brought it to like a semifinals or a finals of a tournament. I always liked this team. I always thought it was pretty structurally good. Ting-Lu, Fast, Taunt, Ruination rocks. No need to be greedy with spikes. Just get them up and then Ruinate a lot. Two booster dudes for mid-game chip. Kyurem, DD Sweeper. Scarf Gold, Glumon. Keep the rocks up and also just a trick away. And then Dragonite is the other DD Mon. I always thought this team was pretty smart. It's just regular offense at the end of the day, but I liked the double Dragon Dance. The only issue is that the team is a little weak to rocks, but that's why you have a fast Lu. Shit like that. This team is cool. My boy, My Java brought this to tournament. Some CTC bullshit. Just HO with bulk up Ceruledge, the defensive one. That was pretty cool. Encore Ogre. Actually, Encore is one of Ogre's best moves that has kind of fallen off out of usage. I don't think it got worse, but people have stopped using it as much. What's that heat with Hydrapple low kicks? Where? Oh, this was made by Lily. Joey gave me this team. It's like 5 boots. I always thought this team was really cool. And I think Lily won 2 games in a row in tournament with this. I thought this team was cool because it has mad weird mons like low kicks and Drapple. Especially Boots. Boots is crazy. The shit's already weak. So for it to have Boots, it's playing a Giga support role. This team is cool. I don't like Boots guard that much, but I understand if your team doesn't have removal, you kind of got to make do with what you have. This is a cool team though. I just like the mons that are on here. It's a very unique combination of Pokemon. Shit's dope. I like this team. I think this team was only used like a handful of times, but it was a good attempt at running Specs Kyurem. Defog Corv plus Rapid Spin Great Tusk. If you ever use Specs Kyurem, or just any Kyurem that's not Boots, but this goes more so for Specs than it does for Nevermelt Ice. Because Nevermelt Ice, at least you can switch up your moves. But if you run Kyurem that's not Boots, you basically need double removal. You need Spin and you need Defog, or you need Spin plus Court Change, or just, you need something like that for the most part. You can get away with it sometimes if your Kyurem is like more of an early game suicide shit, but bro, otherwise your Kyurem comes in at 75, and now all that extra bulk and HP, or Hat, yeah, Hat is always amazing. Just joined, about to steal all the teams. Tap in, bro. Tap in. You're always more than welcome to take whatever the fuck we got here. I used to ladder with this. I got number 1 with this. Like actually, just randomly playing one night on the ladder for fun, testing out new shit for CTC and SPL. Yeah, this shit is mad disgusting. If you can't Oko Kyurem, you bring Kyurem in on any Pokemon that's weakened. You click scale. The shit has a giga high attack stats. You hit the scales, you get your speed boost. Next guy comes in, gets packed up. This set is fucking insane to play against. Like, absolutely insane. And then Freeze Dry is just there to hit the water types that would otherwise wall you. But Spear is already breaking through everybody no matter what. Not to mention Freeze Dry has the highest, like, odds of freezing. I know this is only 10% chance to freeze, but we all know Freeze Dry actually is like 20 to 30% freeze chance. This shit is not 10%. This is literally like 20 or 30%. Freeze Dry's not coded accurately, I'm telling you right now. It's a fucking bunk ass move. Umbreon stall. You can see I was always trying to make that piece of shit Umbreon work. I got an absolute addiction to running Umbreon. I literally can't stop running Umbreon, bro. I'm addicted to this piece of shit. Heatran stall. This is ass. I remember when CTC made this. Shit is ass. This was a cool team. Choice Band Hoopa. Some shit Vert gave me back in the day, but I never actually used it. I know he won with this in tournament though. He clicked Terra Dark, Hyperspace Fury, and like O-Code Moltres or something crazy. Oh, let me show the original CTC team that literally everybody spams to this day. I literally remember when CTC built this team for me to use in top 16 of Smogon tournament, and then it got stolen off the ladder by the dude I was playing. I played him on the ladder and he fucking stole that shit from me and brought it versus me. And that was how the team got debuted. I had it planned for G3 and the pussy stole it from me and used it in game 2. But it's my fucking team. So I knew every set and I 6-0'd him with Primarina. Oh my god, I crashed out like crazy after that. I remember I was so mad because I was so excited to debut this team after using it on the ladder all week. And the dude I fucking played on the ladder stole the shit, brought it versus me, and got packed up by my Prim because I knew every set on the team. Because it's fucking my team. Oh my god. Oh my god, I remember that. Yo. I was so mad. I was so mad. I can find the replay as well. I was so tight, bro. I remember because I was like, bro, are you actually serious? I couldn't even bring the team. I had it planned G3. I'll show you the replay right now. I remember this to this day. I talked shit afterwards too. I was so tight. Usually I don't care that much because I be stealing teams myself. But I remember I saw this and I'm like, bruh, this is my team. Oh my god. But yeah, CTC cooked with this team. But I never brought this team ever because it's weak to... Anyways, I called mine turn 1 because I know all the sets. I know this isn't Thunderwave. Click Psy Noise immediately. This is where he realizes, oh my god, I fucked up. I have no switch. Clicks Thunderwave. Psy Noise. Psy Noise again. Moonblast. Golden Go. Knock it out. Goes into this. I go Landorus. I U-turn. Look at the Samurai set. Red card. He would have lost his damn mind if I pulled Deoxys, but it was whatever. Sacks this. U-turn again. Gold trick. Watch this. Don't even turn flying type. DD. Come on. Come on. But again, it's my fucking team. Also, he has to turn Terra Steel here or he'll lose. So I click EQ. I could have gone Terra Flying at any time to confirm my victory. But I wanted the bro to know that I had him locked down. Click EQ. Boom. Beyond ass blasted. Ass blast series. I had to let him know. Fuck out of here. I remember I was so tight. I was like, no way this guy stole my team before I'm allowed to debut it. God damn it. That shit had me so tilted. I was so mad. And then I told CTC, I'm like, we're throwing this shit out. It loses to Primarina. And he's like, dude's ass. Primarina's not beating this team. This team still gets spammed like anything to this day. You can change any of the 6 sets and get away with it. Very strong team. But ever since that battle I had, and after Primarina did what it did, I was like, I'm not using this. Like, I'm not using this. But this is one of CTC's best teams, I think. Given the fact that so many people are addicted to spamming this. Personally, it's not one of my most used. I mean, I'll always like a Ting-Lu Dragonite Golden Go structure, but I don't really care for Zama and Deoxys on the team. Even Clef, I like. These are my least 2 favorite on this build. I'll take the Clef. Clef is beastly. I'll take the Clef. That shit is a champion. Why don't people just steal teams and then change a couple teams so the other person knows you stole it? Well, in this case, when I played against this team, that was the first time the team had ever been shown. The bro didn't know it was me laddering all week testing my teams. So when I saw the team, I was like, bruh, this is my shit. I was floored. I was like, bruh, this is my shit. Fuck. I was like, no way. But It was before. Nowadays, everybody knows everything. That shit still happens, though. People steal people's teams all the time off the ladder. When tournament starts, you'll see people ladder less in general on the high ladder because people's teams get jacked all the time. Like, that shit happens to everybody. There's so many times you'll see a team, and then some dude will pop out in the chat and be like, yo, that's my shit. I was laddering with that shit all week. And it's like, damn, sucks to suck. Well, stealing teams is always going to be part of the growth of the meta game and all of that shit. That's just that's a core essence of the game. Like, you go on ladder with some new heat and you beat somebody with that new heat, chances are they're gonna be like, damn, I should try that new heat. This is mine now. You know, shit, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I haven't done that shit. I'd be on the ladder, I lost to somebody on the ladder, or even if I didn't lose to somebody and I liked the way it looked, I'm like, fuck it, that shit going into my builder now. The game is the game. Ain't no fucking intellectual property here. There was a very, very prominent Smogon player turned multi-tournament winner. Not gonna say Blood's name, but I'll never forget when he told me, yo, can you give me some Gen 6, 7 teams? I'll trade you some Gen 2 teams. I said, yeah, bro. Sure. Give him some of my best work. He pulled up with 5 Meganium teams in GSC, said, this'll do. I said, bitch, what the fuck is this? I said, no, go give me this shit on the top shelf. You out here giving me this fucking dog balls. Oh my god. I remember that day like it was yesterday. I said, yo, what is this shit? I ain't asked for no Meganium. Give me some real shit. Give me that real heat. He was like, bruh, this is my real heat. I was like, no, bruh. I was like, bruh, I just gave you some tournament with championship shit. You out here giving me Meganium. You think this a fair trade? I swear to God. I swear to God. Oh my god. Oh my god, that shit was so funny. He was like, no, trust me, this is that shit. I'm like, bitch, I don't want no Meganium. Give me that heat. I was like, someone's gonna come in here and say, nah, Meganium is shiced in GSC. Yeah, it might be shiced on one team. You can't give me 5 Meganium teams. Talking about some I cooked, bro. I cooked with this shit. You gonna love this shit? No, bro, I don't love this shit at all. Bro hit me with a nice fleece. He scammed me good. I won't even cap. He got me there. He got me there for sure. Ah, here we go. This team right here. This team right here was a fucking work of art. I went like 30-0 on ladder with this shit. And that's when I knew. I was like, oh nah, this is crazy. This team was disgusting. Disgustingly good. You can even see how old the sets are, because what kind of fucking meow is this? Overgrowth, 3-attack, taunt? Like what? Nah, this team was filth. This was when I was truly converted to the Church of Moltres, and I knew this guy was like the god of the meta. Because I had run the Fizdef Moltres my game right before this, and then I swapped immediately to Spadef Moltres because CTC was like, you might play against Enamorous. We had a Moltres team that one of our boys used in SPL semifinals, and it was Adamant Bravebird Moltres. With still a lot of HP, but it was Adamant Nature with some attack. And that extra attack ended up winning us the game. Because Moltres' attack stat isn't even bad. And Bravebird is a strong fucking move. I can probably find the game. So this is a Spadef gold. Or at least it has some Spadef. Because you can't take only 46 from T-Bolt. And then EQ doing 36 is way too much. So this is like an HP invested. Anyways, Bravebird does 40%. So, I remember we were fucking adamant on the Moltres, and it basically, oops. I remember that actually ended up helping win the game because this gold had to get cooked of all its recovers. And then Moltres actually kept it low enough with that particular Bravebird doing 40%. So that Tinkaton could then Gigaton, and then Dark Pulse would kill as a result. I remember everything had to go correct in this game. But yeah. This was a fucking adamant Moltres with Bravebird, which was just crazy. I mean, it just goes to show that Moltres can do a lot of different shit. You don't have to always run U-turn Wisp. They start running Roar, and this, they now run Roar for the most part, right? But for real, that Bravebird Moltres was fucking iconic. That's a genius set. Very solid. This team is called Chinese Goob because my teammate used this in tournament and won with it, and stole it off of a dude that had just a Chinese username, like it was Chinese characters. So the team name in the builder was called Chinese Goob. But I remember my friend played against this on the ladder, and they were like, yo, this team is crazy good. I'm gonna steal it. And I'm like, steal it from who? And they sent the replay, and the name they sent in the Pokepics was called Chinese Goob. I'm like, why is it called this? And they were like, because the dude I played had a name, just Chinese character, so I called it the Chinese Goob. And I was like, damn, that does check out. This was one of my favorite teams. Wide lens Lilligant. Me and CTC were convinced that Lilligant was like the truth. That shit was not the truth, but it was fun to use. Air Balloon Sneazler needs no introduction. This shit is no skill bullshit. Piece of shit, Cheatmon. Early generation, you could run some funny shit. This was Mr. Jambad's team, if you guys remember. Jam got #1 with this team. Does anyone remember this? This was so fucking crazy. This team was so fucking crazy. Specs Intellion. And I remember, so Jam actually came to visit my crib in 2023 early. And Joey came over too. And then CTC, obviously, we live in the same crib. We used to, at least. And it was all 4 of us in the crib. We was hanging out, went out to eat, chilling. So later, we finally get back to the crib. And of course, we back at the crib. It's Mon's time. Everybody pulling out their laptop. And Jam's like, you gotta use my Intellion team. I got #1 with it. And I'm like, dude, this shit's ass. And so I load up the Intellion team and I'm laddering. And Jam is like, bro, my Intellion 2-hit KOs every Pex. And I clicked Hydro Pump into Pex, and he's like, click Terra Water, it's gonna 2-hit KO. I'm like, dude, it's not gonna 2-hit KO. And that shit did 40%. And I'm like, yo, Jam, you fucking bitch. You told me that shit was gonna 2-hit KO. And he's like, oh, I didn't know they started running Assault Vest. And I remember I couldn't stop fucking laughing. He looked me dead in the eye and said, bruh, it 2-hit KOs every Pex in existence. That shit did 40%, and I just looked at him. And he was like, bruh, I didn't know they started running Assault Vest. I was like, Jam. Fuck. Nah, this team was a work of art. Slowking, Nasty Plot, Terra Water, Surf. This shit would break a lot of mid-range balance teams too. This was so cool. The fact that he got #1 with this team was dope. Very, very cool. Very, very cool team. Like, this was so cool, bro. I remember. It wasn't even just the Intellion, man. It was the Nasty Plot Slowking. Like, how he figured out that this had a defensive utility. Oh, man, this was awesome. One of my all-time favorite teams. Really, really cool stuff. Defensive Lucha? Oh my god, I used to love running this. Roost, Encore, Low Kick, Defog? Ya dig. Oh man, this was one of them ones. Ay. So many good shits. This was the first team I ever got #1 with on the ladder. Except for CBB's Annihilate team, but that was mostly CBB laddering and me cheering him on and giving the occasional like 1 or 2 plays. This was the first team I ever got #1 with on the ladder for Gen 9. It was like maybe January or February of 2023. Scarf, Great Tusk, 4 attack, no rapid spin. This is the greedy ass Garg I used to run, man. Stealth Rock, Curse, Salt Cure, Recover. And then this was the absolute key. This right here was the key. Nobody was running anything like this, bro. Nobody even knew that Hatterene could do specs, bro. Look at the bro special attack. We not fucking around with 407. Draining Kiss, that if I could go back and use this set again, Sigh Noise is definitely what you should have on it. But man, bruh, this thing was so fucking swag. I couldn't lose with this shit, bruh. I would get every turn right. I would always pull up on Stealth Rock correctly. Always Mystical Fire to Corv. And then Terra Fairy Draining Kiss blows up Garganical. You get back all your HP. You go brazy. Oh, man. And I think Terra on moves under 60 base power, they get brought up to 60, right? If I'm not wrong. That's how it works? If you Terra and you have a move under 50, it goes up to 60. Is that correct? Yeah. So Draining Kiss turned into a fucking nuke with specs plus Terra boost. Oh, man. I love this shit. AV-Pex, staple, and then this, the most skillless noob killer set of all time. This was a stall killer. And then this was another greedy ass set. Defog, Roost, iDef, Press. Keep the hazards off while also iDefing and sweeping. I just couldn't stop running it. These were 2 of the greediest sets of all time. And this was also greed. I remember CTC used to always tell me, he's like, this team is literally bad. And I'm like, no, I can't stop winning with it. It's too shyst. It's way too shyst. Naughty Pot. Naughtier than Hex Pot. Wait, it's Lonely actually. Why did I have Lonely instead of Naughty? Huh. I think I actually went and made it Naughty because I got 6-0'd by Belly Drum, Terra Water, Aqua Jet, Azu. One battle. And even then, you still probably died to Azu. But I remember I made it naughty for that reason. It was initially lonely. And I literally got 6-0'd by a Belly Drum Azu. It Belly Drummed, Terra Watered, and killed every mon. And I'm like, bro, this shit is cheap. Piece of shit Azu. Azu's such a throwback, right? Ain't nobody using that bullshit anymore. What else did I like in Gen? I saw someone ask me what my favorite Gen 8 team is. I can pull that up in a second. Because I have like 2 or 3 answers for you with that. Yeah, this was my favorite. This shit had Smooth Rock Hippo, which is not even that good, but... Or maybe that's just how I stole it. But I used to get a lot of mileage out of this team. It's just very easy to play. That's not to say that this team doesn't have bad matchups, because every team is going to have bad matchups. But Hippo-Pex and Hippo-Corv is some shit I would always spam. So Scarm is the next... Oh my god. Come back. Scarm, I can't believe I just deleted Hippo. Scarm is like, you know, the natural other option if you're not running Corv. But yeah, I loved this team. Brought it so many times. It's pretty weak to Nasty Plot Rotom Wash, which people like to spam a lot. But yeah, Hippo is the GOAT in Gen 8. It's one of my favorite Pokemon ever to use in Gen 8. Shit walls everybody. You need it for a bunch of cheap shit. But yeah. Smooth Rock was there because it allows Excadrill. Lefty's Excadrill was always really good because you could switch into Coco and Calm Mind Clefable, 2 of the most annoying attackers in Gen 8, especially Coco, which, I mean, I had run so many different types of Excadrill Sands. I had Boots, Exca, shit like that. If the Pecs get knocked, it gets annoyed by Whirlpool Feeny badly, for sure. There are definitely some Pokemon that will fry this. Also, like, Spexlele, for example. There's no switching to Spexlele on this team. Everybody is 2 KO'd, right? So there's definitely some things that you could run up against with this team, and you have to be a lot careful. Because, like, I have friends that are like, I don't like this team, but it just depends. But yeah, like, Spexlele will literally 2 KO every single member of this team. Versus Feeny, I used to literally go hard Hippo and get the sand up and just EQ spam and, like, trade my Hippo into the Feeny. Because, yeah, you're right. There are some Pokemon where it's like, ah, shit. But you can definitely outplay a lot of stuff. Even Nasty Plow Rotom I've beaten with this team before. I think I posted the tournament series I had with this, where I went up against Nasty Plow Rotom and was able to get out of there with my life. Calm Mind knockoff Clefable is good. I mean, this is a really, like, it has all the staples you need on a Gen 8 team. You need knockoff. You need chip damage in general. Double knockoff from this and this mean that eventually everybody's going to lose their boots. And then you're able to go from there. But yeah, this team right here was one of my favorites. Blacephalon is a little bit more prepared for. I think at this time when I was really spamming this team, people only brought Blacephalon now and then, and they would even run shit like Scarf. But Specs was something different. Specs was something different, so that's up there. This team I have used in so many tournaments. This is like the most fun team. I don't know who made this team. I don't even know if you could say anybody really made this team. I mean, somebody probably did. But I mean, this type of like Rilla offense has always existed. But this shit was really good. Every time I brought this to any tournament game, I have had a solid chance of winning. There's definitely some bad matchups. I mean, it's hyper offense after all. So you're obviously going to have some issues into some teams. But I have always had a lot of good luck with this shit. This is phenomenal. Quadruple SD. Put the shit up here for... Just put them all in a row. But Rillaboom Grassy terrain basically means Blaziken can set up on ground types since it's now neutral, right? Protect means that you're getting back double lefties, so that's already pretty troll. Weavile Life Orb is extremely greedy, given the fact that this team doesn't even have removal. But Life Orb Weavile is disgusting. If you bring it in early game, this shit will kill everybody. Like, this shit, it has no switchings. +2 Life Orb Triple Axle can kill Buzzwole, for example. Like, this shit would go through any possible counter. You'd need like max Feeny. Feeny is also good into this team, of course. You can see that it checks like 5 different Pokemon, but Lefty's Garchomp SD. I think Chomp's like top 5 offensive threat in Gen 8. Shit might even be top 3. SD leftovers, you're able to bring this thing in multiple times throughout the course of a battle. This shit was nasty. Chomp speed tier was always good. The natural bulk is always good. There's no more HP ice in Generation 8 too. So I always had a lot of fun using this. Aqua Tail's dicks. Fire Fang is obviously better, but when you have 2 fire types, it's like you can kind of use Aqua Tail's still dicks though. I've literally never clicked this shit and had it work for me, like ever. Life Orb Rilla. This is a crazy set, just max HP, or close to max HP, max attack. Rilla has naturally, like, okay defenses. At least the Fizz Def and the HP are pretty good. Spidef's pretty dog shit, but when you have max HP, you're able to take a hit. Like, I'm pretty sure this can lift Specs Draco from Pult. Life Orb Woodhammer has no switch-ins, so, you know, that shit's able to cook whatever. This also is able to trade into Corviknight and Skarmory really, really well. Because +2 Life Orb superpower. I never really ran knockoff on SD Rilla. I always liked having superpower. I'm trying to smoke Corviknight. I'm trying to smoke Heatran. All that shit. And then Woodhammer. I always liked having Woodhammer. Because that's just like the all-purpose button. Also, +2 Life Orb Woodhammer is able to muscle through Zapdos. And sometimes you just need to click some shit. Sometimes you just need to click some shit, bro. Blaziken is Blaziken. This was my favorite set. Heatran, Air Balloon, Fizz Def, but with a lot of speed. This was a nasty. This is the CTC spread. I don't know what the actual set on this team was, but this was like the CTC spread. 245 speed, because there's some shit at 240 and 243, I think. Was the speed tier necessary for the 212 on Rillaboom? Yes, because Rotom hits 211 or 210. So this was just for Rotom, so you can Woodhammer immediately. Yeah, and then this, I liked this. Taunt Magma meant you could troll through some shit. Wisp is all-purpose. If you lead off with this versus a ground type and your balloon is still intact, then the Wisp is completely free, and you can take that shit out for the remainder of the game. If you Wisp Landorus or you Wisp Garchomp immediately, then once the terrain goes up, you know Blaziken is going to set up a lot easier because that shit's burned and its Earthquake is halved. And then, all reliable, the greatest dude you can have in Gen 8. This guy will never, ever, ever let us down because he's the best. He's perfect Pokemon. This is the reason everybody had to run Hippowdon and shit. And even then, this was Mr. Bailout. Oh, I fucked up. No, I didn't fuck up. The GOAT is here to protect me. Oh, I miss my good friend Dragapult, Specs Pult. Nowadays, you use Specs Pult. Guy's broker than broke, man. Guy completely fell off, man. It's sad to see. But I'll never forget what Specs Pult did for me in my time. There was even a time in Gen 9 where it was still good, but eventually you get to a point where you need to just not Shadow Ball. Because the second you click Shadow Ball with Dragapult, what happens? Dragonite's coming in. Kingambit's coming in. Back in the day, Roaring Moon's coming in. We getting that free dance. Game over. I hope you enjoyed your one kill with your Specs Pokemon. Also, Dragapult defensively is way too important. Way too important. This is a nice team. This was made by Giannis. I used this in tournament. This was a really strong one. Only time I ever liked the Nasty Plot Tornadus team. But it really is just like Bantar. I've showed this before, but Bantar, one of my favorites. It's a spam. This is similar. Future Sight plus Bantar plus Buzzwole. You're able to basically chip. This is a pretty offensive team. This one was really solid. Let me see what else. This team I liked a lot. This team has been used so many times by so many different people that I would never bring this again to any tournament battle just because everybody knows it. Everybody has this team in their builder. My boy Bia made this. This one is really good. It's double poison, double defog, and then double choiced attacker to break. This team definitely does have some options. I mean, not options, some issues. Like, even though it's AV, EQ, Slowking, Heatran and Grassy train 6-0s the shit out of this team. Magma traps everybody, and they all lose 1v1. Like, you literally lose your whole team to Magma Tran in terrain, and some stuff like that. But overall, this team was a really good scrub farmer. Like, especially if you can play a little bit more offensive than your opponent and get a lead early on. This shit was really solid. This was one of my favorite teams for a while. I actually only brought this to tournament one time, and I think it won. There were other times I thought about bringing it, and I probably could have brought it, but last minute, I know one time I was going to bring this team, and then last minute I decided against it, and my opponent had a Magnezone, so I was so happy I didn't bring this, because I would have been cooked. This team was spammed a shitload. Oh man, this team was spammed like crazy. This was CTC's Blacephalon team. I think one year in, what tournament it was, SCL, this shit went like 5-0 or 6-0. I brought this shit, CTC brought this shit, everybody brought this shit. CTC had something else over Clefable. He had Specs Dragapult over Clefable. But Solwyn put a Clefable on it and was like, this one's better. And I was like, yeah, bitch, of course Clefable's better. This team was really cool. I don't know how it's aged it now, but it was really cool in its heyday. I'll find the version I used. So this version is Scarf Dragapult plus Specs Lele. Scarf Dragapult is nonsense for sure, but needed speed control, and that shit used to beat Dragonite. It was Modest Scarf Pult, which I know sounds like what the fuck, but trust me, that shit was cooking. That shit was cooking. Also, this is probably the worst thing you could ever face as a Tapu Lele guy. Heatran Spadef plus Slowking Spadef. The fuck are you gonna do? But yeah, this team, first off, visually, this team is gorgeous. This team is absolutely beautiful. Phenomenally looking. Like, the aesthetic of this team is, come on, this is just, you ever seen a team with this many shades of turquoise and green and blue? Come on, it's just, it's one of them ones. It's one of them ones. We got to look at it from both sides. It's just beautiful. Oh shit! How did this game go down? Predict the Heatran lead goat. Earth power to 17.5. Nice, no damage. Rock sub. Heatran come in. Double the Ferrothorn, knowing Slowking's coming in, so I can get Spike. I think. I know I knocked off. Lele comes in on Toxic, which was fucking terrible. I should have gone Mandibuzz. Slowking comes in on Moonblast. I think I should have half. Dicks. Go Gastrodon on Heatran. Slowking comes back in. Did I Tox? Yup. This guy comes in, knocks off. I only have knockoff Stealth Rock, Power Whip, Leech Seed, so I went for Leech Seed hoping he would switch because I don't care about knocking this off. In fact, if I knock this off, it turns into a bigger threat because it's able to switch out moves and smoke everybody. Mandibuzz comes in and clicks U-turn because that's all this piece of shit does. Blacephalon comes in to click Shadow Ball as Landorus T comes in. And even though Landorus T was Spadef, we're specs, right? So Buzz gets sacked, in comes Pult, clicks Shadow Ball Specs. Doesn't do shit because Gastrodon Spadef is hard body as fuck. I'm Boots though. Pult comes in, I U-turn. He actually misses Toxic, which sucks for him. I think Scarf Pult ended up doing something. Maybe it didn't. Okay. Yeah, I think I was actually behind up until this point. Because Heatran came in, and then I brought in Gastro, and then I doubled out into my Blacephalon to get anything going. Sack stupid Mandibuzz. Clown comes in because I got to get Chip on this for Pult to win with Shadow Ball after. Lele gets sacked, goes into Heatran. I think here I fucking crit or something. I drop, and then I crit. Yeah, but this shit doesn't beat me anyways, so. And then I'm Scarf, so I just stay in on the Pult. Yeah, that shit was phenomenal. This team, the Clev version is just quote unquote superior because, like, I don't know, I guess Scarf Pult is way too, like, fishy as a Pokemon. Like, it's not a consistent mon by any means, but I don't know. I always liked it. I used this in tournament. I don't remember who built this team. I stole it from Empo using it, but my other friend Bia told me, like, it's his team or something. I don't know. I don't really care. This team is dope. Yeah, because I stole it off Empo. He used it in some replay, and I liked the way it looked. This team gets 6-0 by Calm Mind Clefable. I talked about it before. Calm Mind Clefable leads and beats every single Pokemon on this team. The counter is going into Tyranitar and hoping they stay in on Heavy Slam, and if they switch, you lose. But this team was definitely my style. I couldn't stop using Blacephalon. Like, I was addicted to using Blacephalon. I used to always think, like, fuck it, no pursuit, Blacephalon's gonna cook. I used to always think like that. Like that was literally like a bot. I would just think, oh, there's no pursuit in this meta. If they don't have Blissey, my Blaze is going in. Scarf Specs, it didn't matter. There was even some heavy duty boots versions out there. I didn't run that bullshit. I was always running Choice, but this team was really fun. Brought this to tournament. I won because I won a 50-50 at the end. But this team was always dope. I don't know who made this. But you guys have definitely seen this team before. It's been used in tournaments so many times. This is like one of the most basic Future Sight offense teams. This team is beastly. Lele clicks Future Sight, and then Urshifu comes in afterwards and gets a free kill. This is the most no-skill core of all time. This is objectively, in like almost any generation, the least skillful shit you can do. Click Future Sight and then go into Physical Attacker. This team even had Life Orb Blaziken, which I thought was awesome. Nobody was running this set. They all ran SD Protect leftovers. Nobody was running some cracked out shit like this. These two for, you know, some support role. And then Garchomp, SD, Rocks. This team was nasty. This team was nasty work. Yeah, this one right here was really good. It's one of those teams where you can just sort of make the opponent play your game, I guess, because you Future Sight immediately. And then immediately just bring in Urshifu. Urshifu has the natural bulk to live whatever, like, neutral move. That isn't a special attack, obviously, because the Spit F's shit. But you guys know if you've used Urshifu that you can switch it in on any Earthquake or whatever the case is, and it can take the neutral hit really well. Urshifu is just super troll. This is a fantastic set. I played against this team in tournament. I never used it, but it always looked really good to me. This is my boy X-Ray's team. Sub SD Chomp plus Magnezone. Strong team for sure. Sub Chomp makes for annoying mind games. Double regen. Future Sight as a whole is fucking annoying. Especially if the opponent's like, oh, I have to go into my Ferrothorn to absorb that. Well, now Magnezone traps it, and now Melmetal can cheese. Not to mention there's a Clef in the back going for knock to remove everybody's item. Tornadus here for the support and to make sure you don't get owned by Kartana. There were some nasty Kartana sets back in the day. I mean, not Kartana sets, some nasty Tornadus sets back in the day. This is one of them bullshit sets. This team is literally not bad. I brought this to a tournament, actually, even though me and Sama uploaded. You can tell Sama was in charge of the nicknames, because look how fucking stupid these nicknames are. Khaled, and Boogie with the hoodie, and fucking Zaza. But I literally brought this to a tournament, because my guy kept bringing, like, fucking Rilla Melmetal, and I was like, fuck this, how am I supposed to break that shit? And the team went in. The team literally won the game. But this is the only Craw team I would probably run in Gen 8, ever. I don't even have the replay anymore, because Showdown destroyed all of its replays from 3 years ago, if you remember. And I played the tournament battle on main, but I wish I could show you guys this team, the replay of this team, because this team literally won and went crazy. My boy X-Ray built this. He used to make some really good teams in Gen 8 when it was the main gen. He was a beast there. But yeah, this is the only Crawdon team I would ever touch. This shit is not real. This shit is always dicks. Nidoking. I'm a supreme Nidoking hater. Like, he looks mad cool. In theory, he's the god. In theory, he's Lander's Eye, but bruh, he just breaks my heart every time, bruh. I want so much to happen for Nidoking, but it just never happens. It's just, Nidoking, I want you to fly. I want you to be amazing. I want you to be the one. But he's not the one. Most of these are pretty, like, known teams. I ran this quite a few times. This gets used in tournament to this fucking day. This gets used in tournament. In fact, we saw this last SPO just a couple months ago. This team will never fall off. This team will never fall off. However, this team is really egregiously weak to Garchomp, in my opinion. If Garchomp SDs and has Fire Fang, you kind of get blown up by that shit. Then again, Rotom lives 4 hit scale, if no rocks, and Clef lives +2 EQ, so you can at least get some damage. But yeah, this team was always really good. I ran Boots Drill just to confirm the spikes go off the field if they get set up against you, because it can be pretty annoying, seeing as the Tyranitar is this goofy ass set. This was my own that I used to run, Future Sight plus Urshifu plus Hydreigon. This shit was pretty fun. I used to have a lot of fun using this. CTC brought this to tournament and fucking turbo fried his opponent, if I remember. I can show you the replay. And he went up against the Magnezone and he got every turn right and destroyed the guy. It was a shice game. Future Sight, Hydreigon comes in on rocks, has to protect because of the threat of Drake. And even then, you get to see that Specs Drake only doing 64 is fucking depressing. Slowking G comes back in on U-turn. Mel comes in. Tries to EQ. Goes for high horsepower. Not real. Magnezone comes in, but the GOAT clicks U-turn like a complete boss. Hippo comes in. Clicks Magnet Rise, which is nasty. Rocks go up. Slowking comes in on T-Bolt, which gets crit. Coco comes in to get some damage. Roost. Vol switch out into the fucking Corv. And then boss play here. Go Urshifu to cover high horsepower X Magnezone. You already know what's getting clicked here. Surge. Easy money. Rilla comes in. Did he go Coco? Yup, to cock block the terrain change. This right here, this was one of them ones. Click Toxic on the switch to make sure Garchomp can no longer troll. Hippo comes in here on EQ. We see double. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Get the roost off, but I think our U-turn gets clicked here. Beautiful game. Beautiful game. Hydreigon comes in. Rocks are up. Pex is low. This pulse is super gooper free. This shit comes in to click U-turn, but this pulse is free. Hydreigon specs, baby. Coco comes right back in. At this point, Coco has him wiped. Does Dazzle get clicked here? Yup, too easy. This was a filthy game. Goes into Torn on Volt, takes 80. Goes into that to get HP back. Hippo can come in for free here on U-turn. Think Toxic gets clicked. Heavy Slam for some chip. That shit does nothing. But that extra chip, baby. Volt switch out. Sack Hippo. In comes Hydreigon because terrain has changed. Hydreigon went stupid this game, man. Knock off here, but this is Fizz Def, so you can get the future side off. Go Coco. Volt out. Into this on recover, which is genius. Stay in because you know SD has to get clicked or it's an L. Nah, this game was absolutely gorgeous. This game was absolutely gorgeous. Future Sight is fucking amazing. With anything. The way you can lock it down is just... It was amazing. But yeah, you should definitely go back, pause the stream, and take whatever teams you want and all that good stuff. I always... I emphasize you should do that. Like, pause this and take what you need. It's not like gatekeeping any teams is gonna do me any good. So that's basically why I made this vid, just to kind of share some shit. And CTC always tells me, you must guide the sheep, guide the cattle. Well said, Base Lord. Anyways, have a good one. Take care.